To a film live this time, actually, this week. I'm, of course, your host, Max, and stepping into the co host role this week, we got two co hosts joining us. First up, we got our man, Brandon Messina. How are you doing, brother? The film live this time,
Oh, I'm
actually.
doing great, Max.
I'm, of course,
Yeah?
your host,
Oh,
Max, and stepping in.
did I do something?
No, I just had the audio from the stream playing in the background by mistake, so you're good. How are you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to talk about our topics for this stream. If you can tell, I got my Avatar shirt on, so I'm well prepared to talk about these movies.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, I actually watched the live action Avatar movie the other day for the first time.
Oh, did you? That the Shyamalan one?
Yeah, dude. Me and Danilo used to get into it on the podcast over M Night. I like M Night as a director. I really do.
Okay.
I definitely think over the years he's had some hit or misses, but oh my god, I lost brain cells watching The Last Airbender.
I could have told you that before you even hit play on the button.
Yeah, dude, I know. I've heard all the things of how awful it is, but like, I don't. I had to watch it for myself. We were doing GalaxyCon this weekend, and all the voice casts from the show except for Qatar, and all the live action cast except for Qatar as well was there. So I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll get them on and we'll talk the movie, because no one talks about the movie. And Jesus Christ, I wanted to just shoot myself the whole time. That was rough. Really
Yeah,
rough.
yeah. I've never watched it, and I probably would have told you it was shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
I,
but
I don't even have to watch the movie to know that.
I wish, dude. I wish. But anything new with you, Brandon? You want to talk about for a second? Anything else going on with you besides some Avatar love?
Not really me. I do have a video coming out in a probably about a week or two. On the Galaxy Film YouTube channel. It's showcasing a bunch of short films throughout the country. Just to, show our love to all the filmmakers out there. So that should be coming out within the next couple weeks for sure.
Nice, dude. Nice. Looking forward to it, of course. Very nice. We
I
also
need to.
have. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so I just want, because you brought up GalaxyCon, I wanted to know what your experience was like. How did that go for you?
Well, so I'm glad you mentioned that, Brand. So, also introducing our next guest for this week, we have Naima Saeed with us. Or not a guest, excuse me, a co-host. God, I'm not used to that, because now she's part of here full
Show
time.
some respect, Max.
I know, man. It's our first episode, fully co-hosting the main show.
Max, you're fired.
Max, you're fired.
You're fired from the channel.
You've been replaced.
Yeah, for real. But Naima and I were rocking GalaxyCon this weekend as press. We also had my girlfriend Caitlin, of course, joining us too. If you guys probably don't know Kate from the podcast side of things, but more on the film side, she was a script editor and also edited things on our website, of course, too. But the three of us were rocking GalaxyCon. Naima, how are you doing, and what are your thoughts on our experience of GalaxyCon doing press?
So it was my first GalaxyCon. Did not know what to expect going in. Not really my scene necessarily, but after day one, which was very interesting, I really, really enjoyed the other 2 days that I were there. It was an experience, but I got to meet Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, who are from my favorite horror movie of all time, which is Scream. I also got to meet the man behind the mask, Lee Waddell, who plays the mask. It's always hard to explain it to people. It's like he's not the killer, but he's the killer, if that makes sense. Yeah. We also got to meet Nick Castle, who is the original Michael Myers in Halloween and in the 2018 ones as well. Yeah, he is a sweetheart. They were all... Oh, and Jamie Kennedy. I almost forgot about him, who's Randy from Scream as well, who's the most iconic character, in my opinion.
Malibu Most Wanted.
Yeah. But everybody was so kind, so sweet. We ended up making some really nice friends, connections. We met the two main people from Halloween Town, and we got to see, the one who plays the mom. She got to come in for panel. It was really nice. I would definitely go back again, but I'm glad I experienced it in the way that I did, so I know what to expect going in. But did I think they treated press well? No, not at all. I don't think that they really gave us much with press. Especially because when we first got there, we got to see the ribbon ceremony and Jodie Benson, who I love, as you all know, plays the voice of Ariel amongst many other people. But it was like the press didn't really benefit you that much, but we did still get those really incredible moments. So I'm really thankful for it. I would go back again in a heartbeat. Oh, and I got you tell them a little bit. My autograph picture is right here. I have to show them of me with Matthew and Skeet. Oh my God, I almost cried. They are cutest things on earth. But
nice. Real quick, while she's pulling that up as well, we got the chat where we lighten up. We got Jose Lopez. What's up, y'all? Maxo, what it do? Is that Kenny? Is that Ken Dog under a name of Jose Lopez? Only Ken Dog calls me Maxo. There you go, Matthew Lillard right over
That's
the
cool.
stain on the
Nice.
shirt.
That's really cool.
Kindest. Oh, they were Matthew Lord. He looks good for his age. Anyway, they both look incredible. I'm still fangirling, but yeah.
We also got John Taylor saying "a as." I don't know what the hell that means, but all right. Thank you, John Taylor, for the comment. But yeah, had a good time at GalaxyCon. I got something over here that's going to definitely make our guest star this week jealous as hell in a moment I'll talk about. But reintroducing to the show, we got Matthew Huff from Megapixel Productions. How are you doing, bro?
How's it going? I'm doing all right, man. Thanks again for having me on.
Of course,
and,
of course.
I think I know exactly what you're about to show. I think you might have already shown it to me.
Hell yeah. I think, dude, it's been a minute since you've been on, a couple months, actually. I think your last episode was what, Madam Web? Was it?
It was Madam Web, yeah. And that was not a joyous occasion.
Oh, come on, man. Madam Web and 50 Shades of Grey, little Dakota Johnson action on the podcast.
Oh no. The podcast was fun, but the movie.
That's a dude. What a time to be alive.
Oh, man.
We do have another guest joining us for the first time this episode. She'll be joining in just a few minutes. Her name's Ericka, coming in as well, aka Mother Mothra. But yeah, before we kind of dive into that, a little bit more about GalaxyCon. I had a great time, to answer your question, Brandon. This was, like my sixth GalaxyCon, I think, or fifth or sixth one I've been to.
Oh, wow.
I've been
Is
going
it a
to
yearly thing in your area?
Yes, and that's part of the thing too. We do have some coverage coming out from GalaxyCon. I'm gonna be working on after this live stream, actually. So yeah, they've been doing this since like 2016. I think I didn't go 2016. There's one other year I didn't go to. However, I've been going to them every other year since then, pretty much. Not for all 4 days, usually, or 3 days back when they were just a 3-day con, but at least popping in for 1 day a year kind of thing. And you know, I've been to quite a few different cons at this point, and I definitely have been to much bigger cons. However, GalaxyCon is, in my opinion, a really solid B-tier convention. Like, it's not on the level and size of course, not San Diego Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con, or even like your Star Wars Celebrations, but for what it is, for being a pop culture thing and not just a like hyper fixated thing like Star Wars Celebration or a massive thing like San Diego Comic-Con, it's pretty solid. But yeah, also with that, we got the announcement, of course, that they'll be doing it until 2031 at least in Raleigh. I know they're getting ready to knock out one of the walls of the convention center and expand it, and make it a much bigger thing for this convention specifically, which is pretty cool. But I won't be there for all that. I'm heading out to the West Coast. We'll talk about that later in a different episode. You know, of course, there's be some big changes coming to the company. I guess our listeners are hearing it first with this episode, of course. But lots to come. Overall, I had a good time with press, though. We got some cool interviews, some cool podcast appearances coming up with Nick Castle, which was really fucking cool to talk with.
He's amazing. I wish we got Sam Raimi, but I got to see him from a distance. I was like,
yeah, that was pretty incredible.
I wasn't there when he was there. I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
only there on Friday.
Too. I'm a huge Sam Raimi fan, so even just being in his presence, I was like, I'm honored.
And those movies are the reason why I have all these nerd paraphernalia things behind me. It's what planted the seed.
For context for our listeners too, Matt was also at GalaxyCon this year too.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, he was there for what, Friday?
Yeah. I was only there on Friday, and I only got to meet 2 people, but I got to meet Marissa Tomei and Jack Dylan Grazer, who were both really nice to meet. I got an autograph from Marissa Tomei. She signed my Cousin Vinny DVD, and
nice.
But I didn't get to have much spending money because on my way, I was at the beach right before I went, and I not only popped my tire but fucked up the whole wheel.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah. But hey, I still had a great time for what I was able to get. So
hey, it's a good thing we got Marissa Tomei, because she's banned from GalaxyCon. We found out that night.
She's banned from GalaxyCon now, which was insane. So I guess it all worked out.
Wait, how did Marissa Tomei get banned?
She ended a Q&A early or something.
Oh,
like real sick.
Yeah,
one.
she ended a Q&A and pissed everybody off apparently. So she's not coming back.
Wow.
Yeah,
she was one of the top people I wanted to meet there too, so I really lucked out with that.
Yeah, apparently. Wow.
But the thing that I know Matt is jealous as fuck about right here, dude. I did get a chance to meet and talk with Sam Raimi. He did sign the Spider-Man Trilogy Steelbook. Pretty sick, dude. Pretty sick.
Man.
Yeah. It's fun meeting
You better
directors.
keep that thing under lock and key.
Oh, absolutely. But dude, you can relate to this, Matt. Like, it's fun meeting the directors that we work, like, where we take inspiration from for our films at this point.
Yeah.
Like, this is on display next to the Kevin Smith Chasing Amy DVD I have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially because we're both made out to Galaxy. It's cool. I'm here for it. But
oh man.
Yeah, that was my long-winded answer of GalaxyCon. We got interviews coming up with Nick Castle. We got some Screen people coming on, like I mentioned. We also have our first article coming out on our website featuring interviews with Grey DeLisle and Dante Bosco, which is pretty awesome.
Ooh,
so got some good
jealous.
shit coming. I know,
I'm
dude.
jealous.
I know. I'll tell you off air one day about the Dante Bosco situation. But yeah, we got a lot coming here at Galaxy of Film. A lot of good stuff. Can't wait for everyone to see what we got going on. And yeah, we got a lot of good stuff. I believe our next guest star to go ahead and join us already too. I want to go ahead and welcome to the show Mother Mothra, aka Ericka. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Can you guys hear me okay?
Absolutely, yeah. We can hear you.
Awesome. I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys for inviting me on. I've been really looking forward to getting into it, but just to get started, it's been nice.
Awesome. Glad to get you on here. Welcome to Galaxy of Film, officially making your podcast debut with us right here. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself if you don't mind.
Yeah. Well, again, my name is Ericka. I am from Dallas, Texas. Professionally, I'm an instructor and work remote, so that's nice and fun. Okay. But as you can tell, I am also a nerd. I have my X-Men paraphernalia everywhere. But yeah, that's why I've been looking forward to this session. I do watch a lot of comics. I like a lot of I guess Marvel more than DC, but a lot of animated stuff. So that's why I'm brandishing all of the good stuff because it never gets to see the light of day. But other than that, I think that's really the gist of it. I do like to watch a lot of movies.
There we go. I'm here for it. I'm glad to get you on here, of course, too. I saw that you were very hyped for Deadpool Wolverine, which is obviously what we're all here talking about this week. Not only discussing that one, but of course the entire trilogy. And you got the Wolverine mask already by the side ready for you, too, which is dope. There you go.
I actually wore this to the premiere on Thursday. For the most part, I have glasses, so it doesn't really work out. But without them,
hey, I've got the Deadpool mask.
There we go.
So, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
All right.
There you go.
Now we're cooking with fire.
Then we had the Deadpool
Now we can get started.
shirt.
Oh,
So
my
we do have the shirt going.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're the only ones who dress for the occasion.
I think we were a little too excited.
Oh yeah.
I love the energy. Thank you guys for bringing it to us and showing us what's up for sure.
Absolutely.
Love a good dress up opportunity.
Absolutely. Oh, but now that we're all here, let's kind of go ahead and go into what we got going on this week. Of course, discussing the entire Deadpool trilogy. We got another comment. Oh, it's Tone Dog in the comment section. That's Jose Lopez. I don't know where the hell you got that name from, Tony. If you guys are familiar with any of the Ken Dog content we put out here at Galaxy of Film, you know who Tone Dog is. But yeah, I don't know where the hell Jose Lopez came from, dude. You're definitely not Hispanic, Tony. Oh, only the best here at Galaxy of Film. A couple announcements though we have going on here. Of course, we do have, like I said, Brandon's new videos coming out next week discussing and highlighting some short films we got going on locally in our community. We do have, of course, our newest short film, The Ick, which is on our YouTube channel and website, done by our Mayhem Pictures division. But also, and dude, this is such a flex for me within our little iMessage chat, Brandon. You know, Jake got to make his appearance on Drink the Movies, which is absurd to me because I've had Uncle Brian on this show so many goddamn times and I have not been on there yet. However, I got to make an appearance on Piecing It Together this week, which I'm so pumped about.
Brag alert.
Yeah, for real, dude. Fuck it. I'm gonna brag a little bit. I'm hyped. I love Piecing It Together, dude. Got a chance to make an appearance over there with David Rosen. Absolutely love David.
Good.
I love that man to death, bro. He's such a G. But yeah, we were talking Twisters this week, which is something we didn't get a chance to talk about on our podcast. I watched that in 40X, which was my first 40X experience.
It was that would have been so much fun to see.
Incredible. And
only I had some when in Michigan, where I'm from.
Yeah, if only. Well, unfortunately, I can report here too. The 40X Theater in Raleigh is shutting down this week on Friday. So tomorrow I'm going to go see Deadpool and Wolverine a second time tomorrow morning before I go into work, and catch one of their last showings there because it's also 40X in 3D. So I guess it's 70, which is crazy. So I'll let you guys know how that is next week on the podcast. Or actually, I'm not even on next week's episode. We'll talk about that later. But next time I do an episode, we'll go ahead and I'll give you guys my second review on Deadpool, Wolverine, and 40X. But seeing Twisters was amazing, and having the chance to go on Piecing It Together to talk about the experience was really cool. Thank you, David, for having me on the show, of course, and link down below for our listeners to go ahead and check out that episode. It was a lot of fun. But, dude, we got some other good shit going on. Besides all the GalaxyCon, press content we're doing. With us doing Deadpool this week, we got a little bit of a giveaway we're doing this episode, Brandon. A little bit of a giveaway. Yeah, we do. And this is where I'm putting you on the spot to make up the rules for this giveaway because I didn't write them down. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is a live giveaway, guys. This isn't for anything for the podcast, Spotify, and Apple Podcast listeners on Thursday. Just for our live stream comment section. We got a mini poster of Deadpool and Wolverine. We are dropping down, giving you guys, and of course, some Galaxy of Film stickers just for the hell of it, like we always do. Yeah, Brandon, what rules are we doing for this thing, bro? What rules?
Okay. This is only for the live stream, correct?
That is correct, sir. What do they got to comment?
Okay.
What do they got to do, bro?
Well, first you got to subscribe to the Galaxy of Film channel. It's always a plus.
Yeah.
In order to win the poster.
Stating the obvious.
Yep. Drop a like on this live stream video.
All right.
Immediately,
yeah.
Like right now. You got to do it right now. Or else you don't get the poster, Max.
No, but it's cut off. The spot's already cut off now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually, like we're about to announce the winner right now.
Yeah, no. You missed the deadline.
You missed the deadline. No, yeah. First, subscribe to the channel. Drop a like on this video specifically, as of recording this right now, and then drop in the comments. Out of the 3 Deadpool movies, which one is your favorite and why?
And why? That's the key one. You can't just say Deadpool 2 and keep it moving. You gotta drop
give
and
us
why.
A good reason why you like it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm back in school again.
Yeah, for real, dude. It feels like it's a discussion
250 words.
Explain 500 characters.
Full paragraph.
Yeah.
No less than 500 words.
3 paragraphs.
Crazy.
Really, 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 really liked.
In conclusion.
Only the best here at Galaxy Film. Jesus Christ.
Those are our rules.
Give them a minute. They're writing an essay right now.
There you go.
They gotta think about it.
Yeah.
Brandon, I can't tell you how long these have been sitting in my office. Before Disney Movie Awards kind of shut down some of their stuff, I got 3. I probably shouldn't show the address. Let me not do that.
Yeah,
I got
probably
3
a good idea.
mystery DVDs from there. We're gonna be opening on stream too, just because they've been sitting here for forever as a segment we haven't done. Like this has been here probably since when we did Hunger Games, maybe back in November. Yeah. So
the mystery DVDs.
Yeah, they're mystery DVDs. I don't know what the fuck these are, dude. They've just been chilling under the desk for months. Yeah.
Well, we got to find out. We got to find out what they are.
Yes, we'll open them in just a minute. We'll do one of them now, I guess, at least, since I don't want to blue ball you guys. This one doesn't even.
It's
feel
all the
like
human centipedes.
From the Disney Movie Rewards.
This one doesn't even feel like a DVD, dude. What the fuck is this?
VHS.
It's one of Jared Leto's personal gifts.
This isn't a. Oh, sick. Okay, yeah, this isn't a DVD. I got a pin from the Marvels. I don't know how the hell this came here.
Awesome.
Yeah, because everyone loved that movie. Yeah.
So much.
Honestly, I think I would have preferred Human Centipede.
Only the best. Only the best.
Yeah, I don't even.
Man. I had to.
What?
I don't even know what the fuck this
said?
is. I didn't watch the Marvels.
Hey, I
Batman.
watched the Marvels and
I
I still
watched
couldn't
it.
tell you.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, you did an LFG on it, didn't you, Brandon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck is this? Can you tell me?
I watched it.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
That's my best
I love
review
how
I can give
everybody's
about the
like,
movie.
yeah,
I
I
watched
Oh, you know
it.
what this
Tell
is?
you what it is.
This is all their logos
Who's
in
the
one
villain?
thing, dude. That's all that is. If I can even
Is it an
see
arrow?
properly. That's
Oh
the-
yeah, no, you're right. It's got like the Miss Marvel swoosh in the
Yeah.
mitle, and then it's like, yeah, no.
Oh,
Alright,
I
well,
wonder
thanks.
if it's like her flying or something.
Yeah, thanks for fucking me on that one, Mickey. That's Jesus. I ordered a DVD and I got a Marvels pin. That's great. Oh, let's go ahead and dive into the news. We'll open up the 2 DVDs later on. Let me make sure these are DVDs at least. Christ. Okay, yeah, they're a little chunky. I see the outline. These are DVDs. So we'll open these up in a little bit. Check them out. Let's go ahead and talk news real quick before we talk about some Deadpool, though. First up, and the biggest piece of news we have this week, this one kind of broke the internet the day after Deadpool dropped at San Diego Comic-Con. We got the announcement, dude.
Oh
Jesus,
boy.
I'm choking out. I'm choking. Christ. Gotta take a sip out of my Furiosa cup. Great movie. You guys suck for not watching
Amazing
this in
movie.
theaters.
It deserved better.
Thank you. Oh, it did. So incredible. Whew. But yeah, Friday, the news, the internet kind of broke again, as if Kim Kardashian stuck another wine ball in her ass. King Dynasty's out the window.
How does that compare?
You don't remember those days when the picture of Kim K where it broke
I
the
know what
internet?
you're talking about, but those two things that you're going to be comparing them to.
Look,
Is that a
man.
real picture?
Yeah, in like 2014, she took this picture of of a wine glass on
One
her
bottle
ass.
on her ass.
She was balancing it.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Oh, yeah,
I thought you said she shoved it up her ass.
No, she didn't. Well, maybe. I
First
don't know.
impression, that's what I heard.
Now that's something that I could see.
that
be
would
on some
break the
level.
internet for
That would break
sure.
the internet for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe
Also
I saw
break
the other
her.
one, but I didn't see that one.
Also break her anal cavity. Let's calm down, okay? Jesus.
Let's get to the news.
Anyways, yeah, the King Dynasty's out the window. We have our title for Avengers 5 now. Avengers Doomsday, and Avengers 6, of course, is still Secret Wars. The Russos are back, which is huge. But we gotta figure out who's playing Doctor Doom, and it's none other than Robert Downey Jr. Whole crowd went wild. There's a lot of controversy around this. Like, it feels like everyone's divided. They either love or hate this casting. I'm really curious to kind of hear everyone's thoughts on this because it's so divided. Whether or not we think, all right, is this, a unique take? Are we going to, is this a multiverse thing? Or is this just lazy casting, period? Brandon, I'm putting you up on the block first. You've been our Marvel guy since day one on the podcast, back when you were guest starring like 100-something episodes ago.
God, it was so long ago.
Yeah, and then now there's a Marvel movie I don't really want to fucking watch. I just throw it on to you. So let me hear your opinions on this one.
So first, let me talk about the Kane's Dynasty thing just
Okay.
falling apart. I'm glad they're going this direction with Doctor Doom now because from what we got from Kane, from Quantumania and I think one or two other appearances here and there, like I said, I'm glad they're taking this route because I did not think they were going to stick the landing on where they were going with Kane. And especially how all the controversy came up with Jonathan Lane or
Majors.
Yeah.
Majors, Jonathan
Jonathan
Majors,
Majors.
yeah. With all the controversy with all that.
Controversy. He's beating the fuck out of his. Okay, keep going.
You know what I mean? Yes. All that. Like, it definitely wasn't going in the direction that everybody thought it was. I mean, they kind of just made Kane look like a wimp in Ant-Man 3. So, and he was supposed to be like Thanos like villain for this multiverse saga.
Mhm.
And then he gets beat by Ant-Man.
He gets beat by Ant-Man in his first appearance. Anyway, yes. So glad they're doing Doctor Doom now. When the Robert Downey Jr. casting was announced, I was asleep when this happened, and it didn't. I woke up with a bunch of like my phone was blowing up from our group chat, Max. Like you know that, just a bunch of people. Yeah, it just shocked everyone, really. I don't mind the Robert Downey Jr. casting, honestly. I'm actually quite intrigued on where they're actually gonna take this Doom. Is it gonna be a completely like original character that just happens to be played by Robert Downey Jr.? Because let's remind you, like, this is not the first time that the same actor has played two different superheroes, and we'll get to that later on in this stream for sure. But are they either going to take an original route with Doctor Doom? It's going to be a completely different character, or are they going to do a Doctor Doom where kind of like a live action what if? Like, what if Tony Stark ended up becoming Doctor Doom instead of, dying or whatever in Endgame? So I am quite intrigued with it. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is gonna nail the role. Like, I just know he is. He's just that good of an actor. Yeah, like I completely understand people's points of how this could be like lazy casting, or like this is just Marvel's like way of getting back, like getting on good graces with the fans and all that type of stuff. But like, I'm genuinely super excited, and I heard that Robert Downey Jr. wasn't going to be on unless the Russo brothers were directing it. So that's a big plus too, and I'm actually quite glad that the Russo brothers are coming in for the Avengers, because I know there've been talks with a bunch of directors on who's going to direct like this next saga of Avengers movies. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm actually quite excited for the casting.
Okay, I got you, man. I got you. And Matt, obviously you're a huge Marvel fan. You know, we met outside of a Kevin Smith show, smoking weed. However, like, your big thing has always been Marvel, as we can quite tell by your prepared Deadpool mask and the arrangement of Funko Pops behind you and your shirt. Yep. You know, surprisingly, your room just screams Virgin, but we're here for it. Where are you at with the Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom announcement?
Well, to be honest, okay, here's how it went when I first heard about it. So, I knew the Russos were coming back. I'm honestly pretty happy about that. Sure. You know, and then I see they're like, all right, and we've got the guy who's gonna play the Doctor Doom, and then it's Robert Downey Jr. and he takes his mask off, and everybody cheers, and I'm like, nah, this is a joke. And then I see, and then everybody's posting about it on YouTube, on Instagram, and I'm like, wow, everybody's really committed to this joke, huh? And then I see Robert Downey Jr. himself posted with the mask, and I was just like, wow, even he's really in on this joke. But then I realized it wasn't a joke. Yeah.
I will say, though, that the actual reveal was pretty neat.
Like, yeah,
it's pretty cool. I'll give him that much.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm still not quite sure if I'm for it or if I'm not so for it. But I don't think I don't think bringing Robert Downey Jr. in as Doom is lazy casting. What I think is, so with Marvel had to like work pretty quick, because like after they scrapped Kang and Jonathan Majors and all that, they're like, okay, we not only need to come up with a completely new idea for Avengers 5, but we need to get people excited to come to these movies again, because I think it's no secret that the past couple of years they ain't been doing as good.
Sure.
So they were like, oh man, how can we really guarantee that people will come back and be excited for this new Avengers movie? And they were like, well, we could bring the Russo brothers back. And I was like, yeah. And then I don't know how this idea of Robert Downey Jr. came to be, but I am at least interested to see where it goes. And like Brandon said earlier, I don't know if it, like, whether it's just Robert Downey Jr. plays Doctor Doom and that's just that, or if it's an actual like variant where like Tony Stark becomes Doctor Doom, because that has happened in the comics, I'm pretty sure, at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm interested. I'm very intrigued.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where I stand right now. I'm interested.
I gotcha. Now, Ericka, with you being new to the show, I'm very curious to hear kind of your thoughts on this as well. Where are you at with Doctor Doom?
So when the news dropped, it was very surprising. I will be honest, when I first got into Marvel years and years ago, I didn't get on the Tony Stark train, Robert Downey Jr. train initially, as much as others. I wasn't the biggest fan of Iron Man when I first watched it all those years ago, until the universe and world building started adding on. Then I saw the true value and why audiences love him as Tony Stark. So going through all of it, watching him on screen pass away and the drama and just feeling the energy in the theater, that was a perfect way to send him off. So seeing him casted was huge. I felt the same way. I saw it on Twitter initially about an hour after the news broke, and the initial reaction that I noticed was positive. Then you give it about 30 minutes when the news set in, and that quickly changed. And then I was like, wait, did I wrongly get excited? So I had to kind of think about it. And I agree. I think this is going to go two ways. He's either going to be Anthony Stark, our evil, what happens if he went a different direction, or he might be Victor Von Doom, where we're going to get a completely different character, and he has nothing to do with Tony Stark. I'm curious to see if they're going to acknowledge that. If we do find out one or the other, if he's a completely separated character or an evil variant, I'm curious to see how audiences are going to take that because of the send-off, because of the big feelings we have for him. Mm-hmm. Do I think it's a cheap casting? Maybe. When I saw $80 million for him to accept to come on, I think I'd piss off a couple of nerds for that too.
Yeah.
So I get it, but a big chunk of the budget's going towards that. I think it might be good. I think audiences and myself might struggle if it ends up being a variant of Tony Stark because of such a good buildup that we had, and to now bring him back. But I get why. I agree exactly with the other sentiments of, I think this is a good way to get audiences back into it. When we get into Deadpool and Wolverine, I think we're going to see that this has a really good turning point for the multiverse and the MCU as a whole. Mm-hmm. So initial reactions are very neutral for me. I'm curious. I didn't feel bad when I initially saw the announcement, but I have a lot of questions. And I'm just looking forward to seeing it. I think I'm still deciding like which way it's going to go. I'm not mad at it. I think I understand it, and I'm just a little cautious.
I feel like I'm in the same boat with you, honestly. But I agree with what you're saying as well, Brandon. Like, Robert Downey Jr. has definitely, gained my full respect over the years. And, of course, the role of Tony Stark being a huge reason for that. I mean, we quite literally grew up with these movies at this point, especially alongside Iron Man being the first one, too. So, I mean, I love him as an actor more than the role of Tony Stark. And I'm glad to see him do other things, such like Oppenheimer as well, where we're kind of seeing Robert Downey Jr. separate himself from Iron Man. So it'll be super interesting to see him further separate that a bit more, and almost a bit disappointing if he is a variant. But if he is a variant, I'm at least hoping it's, like, well-written, if that makes sense. Like, maybe not just...
I think he'll fill it either way. It's RDJ. I think whether we get a completely different character, I don't think it'll contrast with Tony Stark. I think it would be genuinely a completely different performance that he puts on. Sure. I think he's talented enough to do that, where we're not going to be comparing. I'm curious to see, though, how they introduce it for audience sake, for other people that are mad about it.
Sure, I agree.
Either way, I think he's going to kill the role.
Oh, absolutely.
He's going to do great.
I don't think we're all like denying that he's going to be bad in it at all.
Yeah, no.
And I would like to go.
It's a bummer that we lose out on Kang. I was looking forward to that after Loki and Ant-Man, and I really did like the direction it was going. I liked him. I really did like him as a villain, because you were just like, I understand why he's the way that he is. Like, and it does kind of suck that we're not going to get that. But I think this is an interesting way to remedy that. It's Disney at the end of the day, so we're going to have to go with Disney. They're not going to let anything taint that perception of them, so I doubted they were going to keep him on as the news started growing. So it is a bummer, but I'm being open-minded about something with Tony Stark in it, or RDJ in it.
Yeah, 100% agree. I would like to go ahead and just say real quick that before we get to Naima's thoughts on this, Matt, you're a monster. Did you just drink juice from the carton during Ericka's thoughts on Doctor Doom?
I've been doing that this whole time.
I've been drinking out of this the whole time.
I've been drinking out of it the entire time.
Jesus.
What flavor is it?
Where have you been?
It's guava mango. Yeah, no, we had a whole discussion about this before we.
Brandon
before
said
we
he
started.
liked. What flavor did you say you liked?
I like
This is
cranberry
guava mango.
pineapple.
But yeah, no, cranberry pineapple. That was the one
Yeah.
you said.
I don't know why I was just like tunnel vision. Didn't even see the carton. I just like you guys were just talking about juice. But I was like, what the
Just pulls it out nonchalantly.
At first, I thought he was drinking milk for a second, like a monster. Like, straight up.
Some Homelander shit.
God
Oh
damn.
god.
Naima, where are you at with RDJ as Doctor Doom?
I mean, a lot of you guys said pretty much everything, but you know what? Robert Downey Jr. was famous before he was Iron Man. He's famous when he was Iron Man. He's going to be famous after Iron Man, which we all have seen. Yes, Brandon made a really good point earlier that we have seen actors play two different types of characters within the universe. But I think because Robert Downey had such a really high reputation as Iron Man compared to who we're all thinking and their first role in that universe, and then where they escalated to. So I think him going into this role, obviously he's going to kill it. He's a phenomenal actor. We all know this. I mean, there's a drink named after him at one of my favorite coffee shops in Greensboro, and every time I go there, I always get the Robert Downey Jr. This is the best drink. Yes.
What place
oh my
is
god.
this?
It's called Common Grounds off of Elam Ave. Shout out to y'all. I love them. Anytime I go visit my family in Greensboro, I always go there and I always get my Robert Downey Jr. hot in medium. And it is an amazing drink. But anyway, going back to the point, I think that regardless of the fact, he's going to kill it. But I think because he already has such a high reputation, either it's going to falter the film, or if he, depending on the direction that they're going, which I didn't even think about that, having two different character directions that it could go, it could be a really big success. But I think because you already have such a name for yourself with it, it's very unpredictable on how it is going to play out. But people are going to go, they're going to watch it, they're either going to like it or they're not. That's pretty much how it's been for these entire Marvel, Avengers, all of these type of movies. That's usually how it goes. That's the pattern of it. As someone who's not super big into that, I would say like you guys are, but still has watched them, respected them, some of them. That is, I guess, from a more outside perspective rather than, you know, you guys who are more diehard fans when it comes to it. And also a note, I got bit by a mosquito today, so please ignore my beautiful green star on my face. But that's my opinion. I know it, you know, they say sweet blood, right? But that's my opinion on it. I'm not too concerned about it on my own, but I, as an actor and as a filmmaker and as a watcher, I can understand where people's concerns may lie. But I'd take the $80 million too if it was given to me to play another character.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who
good
wouldn't?
for him. Good for him.
Hell yeah.
You know, he's made almost or over $500 million on the MCU alone.
I believe it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
That's
He deserves
crazy.
it.
crazy.
He really deserves it.
Mhm.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see, because I've been talking to some people about it, and it's really going to be a hit or miss when it comes to it. But I'm really hoping that he's in it. I think that he'll do it, like you said, he'll do it good. It really is going to depend on all the other factors on how it's going to turn out to the audiences. So
Yeah.
we'll find out.
I think what's most important to me is how they're first going to introduce him into the MCU. Like, what movie or like post-credit scene, like, are they going to really like establish
Fantastic
Doctor
Four
Doom?
would be my guess. Fantastic
Yeah,
Four,
probably like the post-credit for
Also-
for Fantastic Four.
Also, one thing that I can't believe none of us brought this up, but it'll also depend, like, because Robert Downey Jr. could just have the mask on the whole time,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Because
True.
Doctor Doom wears the mask, so it could just be him with the mask on the whole time, and like we won't even barely notice.
What's the point of hiring him then? You know, they're
Because he's a
hiring
great, they're probably just because of the name and because of what a reputation he has with Marvel.
I'm
But
here
I
for
don't know.
both. I'm here for either or, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm excited regardless. I'm again, I don't have much high stake like a lot of other people do who are way more invested, but I am very curious to see what direction they're going to take it.
I feel you.
I'm very
Fantastic Four
curious
makes sense.
because like if he shows his face to like the other characters in the movie, like they'd have to acknowledge like that he
Yeah.
looks like Tony Stark,
That's my
right?
thought. Are they gonna make
think
him? Oh, he
hilarious.
looks like our
Especially
Tony or something
Spider-Man?
like
Yeah, no, like what if Peter walks up to him and be like, Tony, oh my God, you're
Yeah.
alive. Who the fuck is Tony?
I mean,
Yeah.
that. I think it'd be awkward if they
If
didn't
Deadpool-
like to show. I don't know. I'm curious to see how that's gonna work because I think it's gonna be weird if they don't address it and we're just like pretending
Yeah.
that he's not that.
say if
That's
Deadpool,
It's like in Winter Soldier when
Avengers,
Steve and
like-
Bucky reunite.
yeah, if Deadpool's gonna be in that movie, like he has to acknowledge that, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
It's
Hell,
kind
he
of
called
like
Cable
Chris Evans.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, it's like if we use like Chris Evans as an example, who played in Fantastic Four, and he's Captain America. Like that is something that it's so far apart, and then, like it was cool for we'll get into all that, but it was cool for what it is now. I wonder if it's going to be something like that, where we just have to kind of look past it, where the audience it's inferred that we know that they're the same character, but we don't outright acknowledge it like they did in Deadpool 3. So
I think
that
that's what
might
me and Brandon were referring to when we were talking about another character. I mean, at least that's what I thought. You know, you were also referring to Brandon as another character who's played two different people within the universe. But again, going into that, when you look at him in Fantastic Four, which one did he have more, I guess, credibility and or popularity from?
Sure.
And it's kind of like you're going from such a high reputation to what? And I think that's kind of what is different with the whole Chris Evans situation or shenanigans. But it made for an incredible surprise scene in Deadpool 3. But again, we'll get into that. But it's happened before, so happening again. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Only time will tell, but we'll be here for it here on Galaxy of Film, talking about it, of course, whenever it does drop in 2026, which is crazy. So far out, but so close at the same
really
time.
fast, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, it got me feeling old as shit. It's crazy.
I
Damn.
think it might be coming out on my birthday, but I'm not sure.
Oh, damn. Dude.
It's like May of 2026.
Yeah. Then they
My
doing
birthday's
the
in May.
Infinity War Endgame thing a year later for Secret Wars. God, it'll be a ride, man. But moving
We're gonna be
on
so
to the-
old when Secret Wars comes out.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Moving on to the
I
next
still
piece
wanna
of
feel
news,
young.
though, we have something a little less controversial, unless it's your opinions on this director. We have the trailer for the new Kevin Smith movie, the 430 movie. Now, like I said, Matt, we met outside of a Kevin Smith show. It was a Clerks 3. It was a evening with Kevin Smith kind of thing, the convenience store. I don't think this was your first time meeting Kevin. It was my second time meeting Kevin.
It was my second time meeting Kevin. I met him
you
at
met-
GalaxyCon previously.
Yeah, we just didn't see
Yeah.
each other at GalaxyCon. That's what it was.
Yeah, no, because we didn't meet then.
Yeah. So obviously
Yeah.
we're big Kevin Smith fans. Naima, I know you enjoy some Kevin Smith content here and there. This is something I'm really looking forward to and a bit caught off guard. You know, I mentioned this during the Sandlot episode a few weeks ago when we had the director David Mickey Evans on discussing that film. I'm a big coming-of-age fan. Like, mid-90s, Stand By Me, obviously The Sandlot. I'm a huge fan of all of them. And my first feature that I wrote, is inspired by all those films and is a coming-of-age story, too. So for Kevin Smith to kind of dive down that genre finally is really interesting to me. And it's about these kids who end up going to the movies nonstop. They always catch the 4:30 showtime. And it's filmed in the movie theater that Kevin Smith owns, Smodcastle Cinemas, which is also the same movie theater he went to as a kid too in New Jersey, which is really cool. I really enjoyed this trailer. However, I'm curious because when he pitched this originally, this was going to be a horror film taking place in the theater. Now, I'm glad it's a coming-of-age story, but it's definitely quite different from a horror film, you know what I'm saying? After watching the trailer, Matt, what are your thoughts on this one? Since I feel like, other than myself, you are probably the biggest Kevin Smith vocalist we have on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I actually watched it like literally right before we started, and I'm pretty excited to see it. We got cameos of like everybody who's been in like more than one Kevin Smith movie. I noticed like Brian O'Halloran and Jeff Anderson are in it. Just a lot of fun surprises for those of us who have seen most of Kevin's movies. and just the story and just like the way it's shot and filmed. I'm really into it. I really think this is going to be something really good. That's like that can feel pretty separate from his like View Askew universe. Like it probably is still in it, but I feel like we may or may not be seeing like Jay and Silent Bob pop up. You know?
Sure.
Or maybe we will. Who knows?
Yeah, I kind of hope it's separate. You know?
Yeah. I can definitely see this being separate from like the Clerks movies and stuff.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I feel like obviously we'll see it right away.
Yeah, we will. But I love the beginning of the trailer because at first I thought it was like a grindhouse horror movie because like you've got his daughter like dressed up as a nun, and then like she like kills somebody, and then it's just like them in the theater, and they're like, oh wow, that was cool, and then it's just a coming of age story trailer. So like he really subverted my expectations. So like I'm hooked. I'm gonna see this.
Well, I'm glad he didn't subvert your expectations like Ryan Johnson did in The Last Jedi, because that was shit.
Damn.
Ericka, what about you? Are you a Kevin Smith fan, first off? And now what are your thoughts on this trailer if you had a chance to watch it?
I'm familiar with Clerks and all that. Can't say that I have an opinion, but I do know about the mixed opinions on him as a director and his involvement and things of that sort. I did watch the trailer, and I had the same impression at first. I thought I was about to watch a slasher or something at first, and then coming-of-age movies, and I think it'll be fun. I like the tone of it. I like the cast that's in it. I guess people to grab you in and actually want to continue watching to see faces that you know, which sometimes is a struggle, I think, with movies with people that can't, at least grasp onto one character that they like. So watching the trailer, I was, of course, kind of taken aback, but then finishing it and seeing what the actual summary was supposed to be, I'm interested. I'm curious. I liked the tone. I felt like, maybe I thought I was burnt out on coming-of-age movies, but I think, I'm sorry, you can't go wrong with an 80s vibe. Like, even in 2024, I think all of us still have that, like, itch for nostalgia. So I think just the overall tone is good enough to get people in that maybe aren't familiar with Kevin Smith's work, such as myself as much as others. But I think it'll be nice. I think it'll be fun. I'm definitely going to check that out because it wasn't what I thought at first. And now I'm curious to see how the rest of it plays out, what life lessons we're going to learn. But just to see what kind of tone they bring with a different, time frame and all of that.
I got you. Very nicely put. And Naima, how are you feeling? I know obviously you love some of Kevin Smith's other films, of course. A little movie called Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Where are you at with this one?
Classic.
Hold on.
It's a good one.
It's right here. I had to grab it. I have to grab my DVD copy.
There you go. Got the stickers on the cover and everything. I'm here for it.
You can tell I thrifted it with my DVD collection. Very nice. I'm a fan. I mean, he also did Tusk. He did the Clerks movies. He's done so many very well known, at least well known in the niche, I guess, community, if that makes sense. But I saw that Justin Long was coming back, baby boy Justin Long. He's one of my favorite actors. I don't know why. There's no reason. I just love him for some reason. It's pretty decently, I wouldn't say star-studded cast, but there's some familiar faces that he's bringing in. Obviously, movie theater aesthetic, you can never go wrong. Kind of like how Ericka was saying, bringing back the 80s, a coming-of-age story. I mean, it never gets old, I mean, if it's the same energy as he brings to his other films, we're going to love it. It's going to be fun. People are going to probably hate it. People are going to love it. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a fun movie. I didn't even know that he was trying to do another horror film. I had no idea that was even in his cards. I'm a little sad. I hope that he does do one eventually. But for this movie in particular, it really looks like it's going to be enjoyable, especially the intro of the, what was it? It was like a nun who was also like, a prostitute or something?
Yeah.
Hilarious. I mean, hilarious in a sense that's in its own way, if that makes sense. No disrespect or anything. But I don't know. I think it's going to be fun. But again, I love raunchy comedy. I love that type of humor. I don't easily get offended. I mean, those are the type of films that, again, not everybody's going to be in for it. But I definitely think people like us, people who are a little bit more into that type of subgenre, people who enjoy those very old 2000s styled comedies. I think this is finally bringing something back that I feel like a lot of comedies nowadays kind of really lack. So I'm really, and I'm happy because we need some really good comedies. Please. We really do. So I'm excited.
We need them.
We need more comedy. So again, not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I'll put my honey in it. I'm going to take my sips. It's going to be amazing. I already know it.
I feel like the last solid, like, straight comedy we got was probably No Hard Feelings last year of Jennifer Lawrence.
That was good.
Loved that. Yeah.
I did. Bottoms too. Have you seen Bottoms?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Bottoms. That was a summer movie. Bottoms is incredible. Yeah.
Bodies too. I know it's not technically the comedy, but I really enjoyed it. I went in knowing nothing. I really enjoyed it.
See, I still hate Pete Davidson, man. I still hate Pete.
You know,
I love Pete Davidson, but they killed him too fast.
Okay, well there you go. They killed him. But but let me tell you, the ending
It did that to him in
really
Suicide
got
Squad
me.
too.
It really got me.
I can't watch a Skeet movie. I can't. I can't. As a long-term Kanye fan, I just cannot support Pete Davidson.
Oh my god.
I mean,
give me all the shit you want, dude. Give me all the shit. Goonies in Agony opens with a Kanye quote. What do you expect from me, okay? Like, Jesus Christ.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying shit.
Insanity. Yeah, I don't know. I watched King of Staten Island, and I was a little disappointed by that. I know it's inspired by like his actual events growing up with his dad being a firefighter 9/11. I wish he leaned more into it, dude. I really do. Like, I wish that was explored a bit more.
It was more of a like fictionalized version of it because, like, in the movie, his dad was just a firefighter that died. He didn't die in 9/11 or anything.
Dude, it felt kind of like Honey Boy to Shia LaBeouf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was a little bit of a letdown too.
But then he made a show called Bupkis, which was even more about his life, and it had Joe Pesci in it as his grandfather. And then it just we're never getting a season 2, so it just ends on a cliffhanger. But I mean,
kind of like MODOK. Sick.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's take a look at the comment section real quick. We got Legion of Comics saying, "How's everyone doing?" I like how Joe Rogan perfectly predicted how the MC would go after Endgame until now. And Jose Lopez, a.k.a. Tone Dog, is over here saying, "I'm doing amazing. How are you doing?" Just go back and forth. Kevin Smith was once great. Now he's extremely niche. That's fine. I'm glad he's found his comfortable spot in his audience. Doing good as well, Jose. Dogma. I guess he's listing his favorite movie. However, Legion, you're supposed to list your favorite Deadpool movie to get the poster, man. Not your favorite Kevin Smith movie. We'll give you another chance.
We gotta get it. We gotta get it.
We will give you another chance.
Already cut off, remember?
There is still time.
Still time, guys. Still time.
What is your favorite?
Yes, there's.
I like Kevin Smith joined the picket lines back in the day when Dogma was being protested. He was even interviewed by local news. #legendary. Absolutely. I love that.
Oh, yeah, no, when he was protesting his own movie, that was great.
It was, dude. I saw the interview. Like, oh, awesome. Yeah, that guy sucks. Love it.
Yeah, no, fuck that, dude.
Saw P live a few months ago. He's great. Bill Burr playing the father was solid cast for. I agree. Bill Burr was great for his dad
in that movie.
That movie made me respect Bill Burr a lot more because I only really knew him.
He wasn't his dad. He was the mom's boyfriend.
Yeah, stepdad. Dude, same thing.
Yeah.
It made me respect Bill Burr a lot more. That and season 2 of The Mandalorian for sure. Because I only knew
Bill
him
Burr in that?
Yeah, he's in both seasons, season 1 and 2.
Shit, I didn't know that. I haven't seen it.
Him in season 2 is solid. He's solid in that one.
All right.
Brandon, where are you at with the 4:30 movie, man? What are your thoughts on the trailer?
So kind of similar to Matt, when I first the first couple moments of the trailer showed up, I'm like, what am I watching?
Mm-hmm.
It's very off-putting for because I haven't watched a lot of Kevin Smith stuff, so I don't know his exact style or not, but him going the 80s coming of age tone in that direction, it does seem I guess a little off-putting, I guess, just kind of based on the type of movies that he has made.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've only seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, so that's my real only taste of Kevin Smith. I mean, it looks good. It does. It definitely has that Stand By Me, those coming of age type of stories. So I dig it. It seems lighthearted. It seems very, I don't know, just like general thought, I guess, to it. I wouldn't mind checking it out, but I mean, that's all I really got about it.
Okay, I feel you. Our last piece of news this week, and we won't go around for this one because this is just a wrap-up announcement. The DCU Superman movie, of course, the James Gunn directed film, has wrapped production today, or wrapped filming at least. We'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll cover it on Galaxy. I'm not really supporting the DCU. You know, we've been pretty vocal about that ever since the downfall of the DCEU.
You just hate James Gunn.
Well, not just hating James Gunn, dude. I don't like James Gunn in the last couple of years more than anything. I used to love James Gunn stuff. The DCU was such a waste of time, a spit in the face. As much as I'm not a Zack Snyder fan, I'm very much for, you know, sticking with one vision and following through with it to its entire story kind of thing. You know. What's that face for, Naima? You weren't here for those days. Yeah, what are you...
You're not a Zack Snyder fan?
Not really. I like some movies, you know.
What movies do you like?
I do like Watchmen quite a bit. Watchmen's awesome.
Okay.
Watchmen's solid.
I actually did enjoy Army of the Dead. I didn't watch the Army of Thieves, but Army of the Dead was okay. I know Brandon
Did you watch
loves...
the Snyder Cut?
Yeah, well, I like the Snyder Cut. I do.
Okay.
And I think Batman vs. Superman has good moments. But as
Dawn of the Dead
You gotta
remake?
watch the Ultimate Edition.
dude, don't shut the fuck up about the Ultimate Edition, dude. I'm not watching 3 hours of bullshit, okay?
Mac, how could you forget about Rebel Moon?
I was about to say, I know Brandon loves Rebel Moon, dude. I know he loves those.
Shut up.
Yeah, you've covered both of them so far. I didn't cover the
hate
director's
those movies.
cuts, you know what I'm saying?
Dawn of the Dead remake, Matt. Dawn of the Dead remake.
That's on my list to watch someday when I'm not snidered out. Yeah.
Okay, well okay. Well, that's a good one. So
Yeah, well, Man of Steel's garbage. I'll be the one to say that. I hate
that's
that movie.
fine. But you need to watch it.
Valid.
Just
She's
want to
telling
And I'm
you
not
to
the biggest
watch
fan of the
it,
Wonder
Max.
Woman 1984. I
don't like any
Oh,
of
that
them.
movie sucked.
Really?
Nothing like
Wonder-
old Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no.
Really doesn't.
I didn't even finish the second one. I think Wonder Woman 1984 got the same treatment that Thor: Love and Thunder did. Like the director did really well the first time, so they were just like, "Dude,
Exactly.
Okay, so
I didn't
Ericka,
like
so
the
you,
first one.
real
I
quick,
didn't
so
like the.
Ericka, are you a fan of the first Wonder Woman then?
I would say I definitely appreciated it more than the second. I thought the first one was pretty, for what I thought it was going to be, it's watchable. I've rewatched it a couple of times. It's not horrendous. Gal Gadot doesn't show her skills horrendously until the second one. I'm not the biggest Gal Gadot fan as far as her acting goes. So I think she did pretty solid in the first one. The second one was so hard to watch. And to me, a waste of Pedro Pascal as a villain.
Sure.
I think he killed it in his performance, but it was kind of a waste. Rewatching that one, it's bad. So I definitely will say I do favor the first one. I didn't hate it like I did the second one.
Baby boy Pedro.
I love Pedro. I will be biased till the end of time.
I love him. He could play a shoe, and I'd still love that.
I'm tuning in.
He's so good in the first Last of Us season.
Oh,
He's so
oh,
good.
man.
Oh, stop! But
What?
Gal Gadot is a terrible actress. I don't know how
What?
she made it for Hollywood.
I do not like her.
horrendous.
I've only seen her
can't
as Wonder
act.
Woman, so I have no
He's
other
not
frame of
good.
reference.
I have no love
There's
for
that
that woman.
scene where she's on top of the car and she's trying, I forget what exactly her line is, but it is so painful. And if you isolate it and just watch that, you know the rest of it is just the same. I can't do it.
She
Hot-
can't act, Max.
Dude,
Really?
hot
She
take
can't
right
act.
here. I do
I
not
used to
like
have a
the
crush
first...
on Gal Gadot, honestly.
Valid. Beautiful woman, but
Oh, yeah, for
horrendous
sure.
actress in my opinion.
Hot take. I don't like the
love
first
her.
Wonder Woman movie. I prefer 84 actually. I think 84 is visually a better movie.
Fuck up, Max.
No, I'm serious,
No,
dude.
no.
I'm not a fan of that first one. I really am not. I can't stand the Steve Trevor stuff going on. I'm not a Chris Pine fan even. I became a Chris Pine fan after the press for Don't Worry Darling. Not even for the movie. The movie's atrocious.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the
Remember
getting
Chris
spit
Was
on.
he in that?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
the guy who runs the island or whatever. He's
The
in
little
charge of it. Oh, it's
society.
terrible. But he gets spat on by Harry Styles and has the balls to
Remember
not
the
punch him in the
drama
face in
between
front of
that.
everybody. I do respect Chris Pine after that, dude. I may not love him in a lot of movies. He has my respect as
Wait,
as
was that a real
actor.
thing that happened?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, you know all the
Was-
drama
was it
that went behind that
confirmed?
movie?
No, I didn't
Was
hear
it
about any of
confirmed?
this.
Confirmed, Brandon. I'll confirm with my eyeballs. I see the loogie landing on his lap. What are you talking about? Was it
Okay, because I
confirmed?
wasn't sure if it was 100% confirmed that it was like.
No, I would have.
Oh my god,
I would
it
have
was
checked him in the
nasty.
face.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was in like the middle of like Sundance or Cannes or something. It was like in the
Ah.
festival. You know, he was.
It was bad. No, it was Venice. I think it was
It
Venice.
was Venice. It was. You're right. It was Venice. It was.
Oh, it was the
have a
drama
video of it
surrounding
on
that
YouTube,
movie
but I
was
have not
way
seen
more
that.
than the actual movie itself. Like the publicity that it got, it was insane.
Insane. What'd you say, Erica?
I said that was on video because I'll need to see that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I'm gonna
the
look this up.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's crazy.
that's disrespectful. but
Original
that's-
Wonder Woman all the way.
Yeah,
Going back.
back to that. Yeah, I like 84 a little bit better. I think the speaking to the camera during the COVID speech is cringy as hell. Kristen Wiig as Cheetah is a waste, of course. I'm not a big Kristen Wiig fan
Completely.
either.
I'm not a huge
That's-
fan of hers either.
Yeah,
I don't think it was a fun way to
Different.
You're
introduce
not
her
an SNL
character.
fan?
I do
I
like
like
that.
I'm an
Yeah,
SNL
SNL.
fan, but
I like her in SNL.
hate her.
Hold on, real
I
quick.
just
Whoa,
think
whoa,
she's
whoa, whoa,
I have
whoa.
been-
Bill Hader's phenomenal. I'm not comparing.
Hold
but
on,
you know
hold
what?
on.
Bill
Am I an SNL fan? I cast a John Belushi lookalike in a movie you produced, Naeem. What are you talking about? Am I an SNL fan?
Okay, fair. Okay, fair. Okay, fair. Okay, take it back. Take it back. Take it
My
back.
thing is, no
Cancels
one
out.
wanted to talk about how she basically kidnapped a man and made him Steve Taylor for her. Like, why did we just glaze
Yeah,
over the fact that in
that's
1984 she brought him and just took him off the street and said, "You're my man now," and just paraded him around, and we just allowed it, and that wasn't even like the biggest part of the story.
But you know what? I found that to be more believable than No Love in the first place. I thought that first movie was
Yeah.
so stiff. But I will admit, I think it was Death on the Nile, atrocious acting in that. That was something we talked about way back when on the podcast, and that was terrible. And I think it was one other Gal Gadot movie I've seen. I wasn't a big fan of her in. So I'm glad to hear you're against her in a way, Erica. That's a good hot take, actually.
I had to come to terms with that a couple of years ago, that I had to look past her beauty and look at her performance, and it's very, very weak delivery. And it's sad because she has the look. She is a amazing Wonder Woman look-wise to me. I don't take that away from her. I think the gold suit that we had in the second one was really nice. Kind of could have been done better, but it was nice to see it. I just think her as a performer, I wouldn't want to sit through another 2-hour movie of her line delivery. So yeah, that's been my take for a while. I had to accept that a couple of years ago.
I'm absolutely here for it. I love it. Whew. Man, I feel old as hell now too, Brandon. This is before you joined. Wonder Woman 84 was our third episode of the podcast. Crazy enough. And this is what, like 188, 87
Yeah,
maybe?
wow.
Something?
Wow, it's been a couple years. Wow, really?
Yeah, dude.
A couple years since that movie came out? That's insane.
Y'all
Yeah.
getting
I think that
came out during
pandemic.
COVID, didn't it?
It
Yeah,
did.
beginning of the
Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah, because it was on streaming, I think. That was like at its like biggest.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the first times I had gone back to the theater after they started letting you go back, because I did see that one in theaters.
Yeah, Dakari and I saw that together too. That's funny enough. That was weird. God, man. What a time. But
He's
moving
a
on.
mess. I gave that up a long time ago. I wish they would lean more into at least the animated stuff. The animated DC stuff hits
Yeah.
so hard.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a shame they can't bring that to the live action, because I could sit and watch DC animated shows and movies for hours. Like, they're great. Then you watch the live action, it just sucks. It just
Yeah.
sucks.
It's the time. It's just different. Oh.
Yeah.
No one can do it like a live action. I don't think I've ever seen it like an actual really good, like good live action.
You haven't seen the Batman, bro. You haven't seen the Batman.
But Batman's pretty good.
Well,
I
I mean,
like
I've
the
seen
Batman.
Batman.
The
I like
Batman.
Batman. Yeah. Okay.
The
Fine. Other than Batman.
What about Joker?
Oh. Okay.
I'm a
Yeah.
Joker
Never mind.
fan.
There's good ones. I'm a huge Joker fan.
Joker's
I'm a
Excited for
bias.
the
I
second
love
one.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Spider-Man.
I love
Actually,
him.
they made good Spider-Mans. Okay.
No.
Never mind. I take
Green
back my
Lantern,
comment.
best movie.
There's good live action.
There you go.
No, Green Lantern.
You know. Yeah. And that's what cancels it out. You know, balance it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta balance it. One can't be better than.
Speaking of live action superhero films, I think that wraps up for news this week. Let's go ahead and start diving into Deadpool finally. Before we talk Deadpool, though, the first film, let's go ahead and open up one of these DVDs, dude. Hopefully this isn't the Marvels on DVD, or else I'll be pissed. So let's take a look.
Ooh, I love the cover.
Oh,
Thank you.
come on, Brandon,
That
we're
is
spoiling it. We're doing
nice.
that for Deadpool 3, asshole.
Ah.
Come on now. Come on.
I can't show it.
No, you can't show
Yeah.
it, buddy. This is the mystery DVD time. Give me a drum roll, Matt. I know you drum, bro. Come on, give me a drum roll.
Oh shit, my sticks are in the other room.
Wait.
What?
There you go, Brandon. I've been
Yeah.
waiting all episode for that shit. There you go. All right, Matt, give me a drum roll, bro. Let's see what we got. That shit's not picking up on your mic, but we're gonna take it anyways.
Fuck it. This is the best I can do. I promise. I'm
Oh
not
shit,
doing anything
dude!
weird.
I actually don't have this physically, believe it or not, and this is the only Muppet movie I haven't seen. Muppets Most Wanted. So I'm here for this one.
That's
I
not
never
bad.
saw Muppets Most Wanted.
I didn't watch this one for some reason.
Wait,
dude. I
I've
actually
not seen that
started
one
it.
either.
I started it
I
earlier this
enjoyed
year. I never
I
finished
enjoyed
it.
that movie when
I
it
saw
came
the
out.
first one.
Yeah, I love the Muppet movie.
The 2011 one was good.
I love all of them.
It's a direct sequel to the 2011 one.
Yeah, because I was Walter, and I love the Muppet. I'm a huge Muppet fan. Everyone knows that. So
Yeah.
I'm here for Muppets Most Wanted. Sweet.
Nice.
Thanks, Disney. I'm glad this wasn't the Marvels. You did good in the first one. We'll open up number
Yeah.
2 a
Muppet.
little bit later, before we get to Deadpool 3, maybe. But yeah, Deadpool, diving into this one for you guys. This movie came out when I was in high school, 2016. And dude, what a time for this movie. Obviously, I think everyone who's listening to this already kind of knows about the X-Men Origins Wolverine stuff going on. At the time, Ryan Reynolds playing Wade Wilson in that film and being absolutely wasted. We mentioned that during our Movies We Hate podcast last month as well. That was one of the, I think it was in Will's list, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe Dakari's, I forget.
Are you kidding me? That's the best Deadpool portrayal.
Oh, fuck you. But yeah, Deadpool. We got Ryan Reynolds and the Stu himself in this one. This is both a origin story and a linear story too, moving in a non-linear fashion. We got Deadpool chilling with his crotch out and like beating guys in a car. We get some great stuff like coffee being spilled on everyone in slow motion, some drawings that Deadpool's doing, chilling. And yeah, he's chilling on a bridge, going after a guy named Ajax who's done him wrong. After Colossus and Teenage Warhead show up, it's then revealed that, hey, Ajax is the guy that kind of caused Wade to be how he is. So we keep flashing back and forth, Megamind style, of course. And we see Wade fall in love with this girl, the stripper, I mean, prostitute, Vanessa. And it's kind of like True Romance style, which is awesome, too. We see his buddy TJ Miller, who we don't talk about anymore, who's the local bar owner, chilling.
Yeah.
And there's this whole thing that these mercenaries, which Wade Wilson's a part of, keep going against. It's called the Deadpool, where they can earn money, and almost like the Bounty Hunters Guild in Star Wars, if you will. During all this, Wade finds out he has cancer. He's approached by these guys who are basically trying to do this whole super soldier serum thing. I wonder we've heard that from. They help kind of reverse effects, turn them into mutants kind of thing. Wade's like, well, I'll do it for the one I love. So he signed up. He basically gets put on the black market and gets mutated for testing purposes, basically. And becomes what we know as the Deadpool. And Kill Bill style, Wade is going through, hunting down all the men that have done him wrong in this, and is trying to get to Ajax. And then we eventually get the final battle at the helicarrier, where Wade, Colossus, and Warhead go against Ajax, who has kidnapped Vanessa. Wade gets his girl back. It's a happy ending. And yeah, dude, like I said, this came out 2016, which is really weird. I was rewatching this the other day, and this movie feels like it came out yesterday for whatever reason. Like this, I'll be very upfront with this one too. This is a modern superhero classic, like masterpiece. Like the first Deadpool film is solid as hell. This can be rewatched back to back, in my opinion. So with that being said, I'm really curious, and I want to go ahead and have you up first, Ericka, because you are new to the show. Take the spotlight for a moment. What were your thoughts when Deadpool initially came out?
I think it was a really big turning point for me as a comic fan, because in 2016 is when I really started to get into the MCU. I grew up an X-Men fan. I grew up watching all of the original X-Men films since I was a child. So that was my real first exposure besides Blade into Marvel. So I think 2016 was a really good year because we had Deadpool come out, and I already was familiar with Ryan Reynolds. I had seen The Proposal. I had seen him as Wade Wilson in one of the X-Men movies. But to me, this was a new take on that. And I was very, very attached to it when it came out. As you said, very rewatchable. I have probably seen the first Deadpool, tens of, times since then. I think it was a really awesome way for Ryan Reynolds to weasel his way in, no pun intended with weasel, but to weasel his way into the Marvel world. I classic. I could rewatch it. I just rewatched it at least twice last week. And I think the character building between then and now, you show how impactful that Deadpool first movie was, because where we've seen him come from there until now, cinematic. Like, I think the way that they introduced the love story of Wade and made him really a person that's just rough around the edges and a bit of a mess. I'm a huge fan of the fourth wall breaks. I think it was very refreshing to have some kind of honesty in some of the films, and I think Deadpool really brings that in. Who other Ryan Reynolds to play Deadpool and bring that character to life. I really don't know of anybody else who could have pulled it off in his way. I think at that point in 2016, I didn't really know what Ryan Reynolds could do. I didn't know how I was going to feel about his portrayal of the character, the jokes, the raunchiness, if he could really pull it off. Because if you compare it to something like The Proposal, which we can get into when we talk about the newest Deadpool, you can tell that he really had to dial himself back when he's amongst the greats. So to see him get to full on branch out into Deadpool and really bring life to that character and really create a whole series for himself, it's really going to be one of my favorites. As much as I love the newest one, I think it's still going to reign number one for me. In terms of story, world building, and Ajax, and the way that the character kind of, and we can get into him as a villain, but I think just the way that we had just a small casting and just kind of kept it straightforward, Fox and Disney aside, it's a solid movie, and it will hold up for years to come, in my opinion.
Absolutely agree. See, and you guys might hate me for this. I've mentioned this on the podcast before, too. I'm glad you had that connection with the X-Men growing up. For whatever reason, I didn't. Like, I didn't watch any of the X-Men movies until I was probably 20, I think. Deadpool was my first X-Men film, and I know, Matt, I saw that face, dude. I got an even hotter take. You're really gonna not like this one, dude.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right.
The ending of Logan was spoiled to me by Deadpool 2's intro. I hadn't seen Logan at that point.
Okay. No, I was worried you were gonna say you didn't like Logan, and I was about to hang up.
No.
Yeah, I would have been offended.
I was
No,
about to hang up.
It's crazy.
I had the cancel button ready.
I've only seen the first three. I'd only seen the first three X-Men movies, and I finally just watched Logan for the first time the other day. Actually, prepping for Deadpool 3.
Me too.
What'd you think of
I'll say
it?
that. Me too.
Yeah, and what's even crazier, dude. I was first in line at Best Buy to buy it physically on 4K Steelbook, and when it came out, I did not watch it for years for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. But I got like the noir cut with the comic style cover of him and Laura. Ridiculous. I do love Logan. I watched the noir cut for the first time for my first experience. Absolutely loved it. Wanted to rewatch it before Deadpool and Wolverine. Didn't get a chance for a rewatch, but I loved it. But it's always interesting to hear people who like got into X-Men before MCU for me. Like, I don't know if like just me being at that age range like kind of like hit the MCU at a perfect time despite not catching it when it first started either, or what. But like,
I was a hater of the Avengers and all of that when they first started coming out back around that time. Like, I had seen them on, but I was such a big X-Men fan that it made it hard to want to get into these new characters for me, because they all were, like I mentioned, Iron Man. It took me a while to get on the Iron Man train. I didn't understand why he was so beloved at first, to be truthfully honest. But yeah, no, I would have been real offended if you had anything negative to say about Logan. I still remember the movie premiere, the theater I was in. It doesn't even exist anymore. It got torn down since now and then.
Oh, man.
It was in an empty, abandoned mall. Like, only thing that was open there was the movie theater. And I think that was like perfect vibes for that kind of send-off. And obviously, I'm a huge Logan / Hugh Jackman fan. So I'm glad that that it happened in the way that it did, that we got Deadpool, Logan, Deadpool 2, and now Deadpool 3. Chef's kiss.
I gotcha. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. Like, growing up, I was just a big Avengers fan. I'm Matt. You probably remember this show. I know you're definitely a Cartoon Network kid. Marvel Superhero Squad. Yeah, I loved the hell out of that. Yeah,
I remember that show.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't watch a lot of it, but I was aware of it when it was on.
Matter of fact, dude, I got the video game chilling here on the shelf, actually, on Wii right here. Chilling. I watched the hell out of this as a kid. And funny enough, Wolverine's on the spine. But yeah, this put me on to like a lot of Avengers characters compared to anyone else. Even Doctor Doom put me on to Doctor Doom as the main villain. So we are just talking about him
Nice.
too.
I remember
But,
Reptile. That's like the one I remember.
Yeah, man. I don't know. So it's always super interesting to hear people who prefer X-Men over Avengers. But I love you have that connection here, though. It seems like Naima is in the same boat as you. What were your thoughts on Deadpool
You
when
have
it first
X-Men
came
1.5?
out?
Oh.
Yeah, for
Hold
those
on.
that can't see it, I have X-Men 1.5 DVD. It is beautiful.
Ooh.
Look at this beauty.
And, psh,
Hey,
that's a twin.
Twinsies.
Okay, there you go.
twins.
Woo. I had to show it off.
Naima, what are your
Very
thoughts on
nice.
Deadpool when it first came out in 2016?
So I didn't watch Deadpool. So again, I'm not into all this like you guys are, but I appreciate and respect art and movies where I see them. Like everyone who knows me knows this because I'm a big cinephile. My husband actually got me into Deadpool and Logan and all that stuff last year. So he was like, "You have to watch Deadpool. You have to watch Deadpool." I'm like, "Isn't that like the parody remake Spider-Man?" And he was like, "Oh." And I was like, I don't know. I've never heard of like I don't know any of this stuff. I'm like, I don't know. And he goes, well, Ryan Reynolds. And I was like, that's all you had to say was Ryan Reynolds because a lot of people know him from The Proposal. I knew him from Van Wilder. I knew him from
Green Lantern.
I don't know about that, but like Waiting, like I'm talking about the raunchy, again, the raunch comedies where he is so incredible in, and he does a lot of that, you know, narrative work in those type of movies too.
Mm-hmm.
So when he implemented that into Deadpool, I was like, oh my God, this is first of all hilarious. And for me, again, not being part of like that cinematic universe, it was a great, I guess, you know, going into it and really enjoying the movie. Like it was hilarious, but there was also action, there was blood, there was a story, there was romance. And I was like, you know, and I had not seen Ryan Reynolds in a light like this either. Like this was not what I was familiar with. And it was so much fun. It was the breaking the fourth wall, just the character interaction. And I guess being an actor, I'm like, I know he had so much fun on set. And I was like, this is really fun. And my husband was prepping me because he knew that there was going to be a Deadpool 3. And he was like, we have to watch all of this. And I was like, 2 of them? So when I got through the first movie, I was like, this is awesome. I think it's probably one of the best, at least superhero Marvel Cinematic Universe, you know, Avengers, like movie I've seen in a very, because I was a big I was an Iron Man fan, I will admit. I really enjoyed his character. I think because it was Robert Downey Jr. and because it was just a very, you know, interesting story. Mostly just the first movie. I didn't really get into much of the other ones, but I think Deadpool is definitely top tier of like best movie I've seen within the universe. I think it's for fans also that are, you know, maybe a little less inclined than a lot of other people, and I think that we can relate to it just as much. And with a little bit of background knowledge and maybe some other film watching, we could definitely get into it. And I think that definitely prepped me to get into Deadpool 2, which eventually got me so excited for Deadpool 3. And all 3 of them, you know, as a recap, it's just been an incredible, I guess, trilogy to, I guess, kind of be a part of. And it's made me more excited to kind of really delve more into that universe. And eventually get into X-Men and eventually watch Logan and really kind of fall in love with all of these other, you know, superheroes and villains. And so I think Deadpool kind of brought me into the universe. So I kind of gotta thank Reynolds for a little bit on that.
I'm here for it. Interesting take, though. Interesting order to watch those in for sure. But I'm
Yeah.
right there with you. I'm right there with you, though, to a degree. So I can't judge too much. Looking at the comment section real quick, we got our entry for our movie poster giveaway. We got Gamer Harold commenting Deadpool 3 because of the cameos. Harold, you're a top G, dude. Coming in late as fuck and still paying attention. You know what's up, bro. You know what's up. So for listeners that are just tuning in, be sure to comment which is your favorite Deadpool movie and why. For chance to win one of our mini posters and some Galaxy Film stickers, of course. Check it out. Brandon, do a little sound effect or some shit? I don't know, bro. Come on, man. Let's be prepared. What kind of editor are you? Real sick. Giveaway's canceled, Brandon.
End the stream.
Oh, man. Why wouldn't you support the DVD? Oh, we also have Legion of Comics saying, let's see. Deadpool 2 is pound for pound the best of the 3. Deadpool Wolverine is clearly untouchable as the most fun and shocking. Why wouldn't I support the DCU? Jesus Christ. Why wouldn't I support the DCU? We've done plenty of things on that. We did a Galaxy Film episode called The Failure Known as the DCEU. So check that out from our in-depth, 3-hour discussion on that catastrophe. That's not like supporting the MCU for the last 4 years, where the Eternals played. Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, Eternals. That was a Marvel movie.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed Death on the
yeah,
Nile.
that
I'm
was
a
a movie,
big
too.
fan of. Okay. Any reason for the DVD format? High def been around for decades now, because that's all the points I had was for DVDs. It was either 1 Blu-ray or 3 DVDs. Well, I guess 2. Thanks to fucking Mickey for that, dude. I don't know what to do with this thing.
Give it away.
Whoever wins the Deadpool poster, you're also getting a Marvel's pin. Now we just made the
There you
giveaway
go.
more interesting.
There you go.
What am I gonna do with this thing,
Like
dude?
a bonus.
I
You
ain't
get a
gonna watch
prize
this
and a
movie.
punishment.
You get a. That's for sure, dude.
Hey, that's an honor. That is an honor.
Yeah, you tell me,
Perfectly
Brandon.
balanced as all things should be.
Yeah, so
Kind of like this whole conversation.
whoever wins the giveaway, you get a Marvel's pin, and you also get a Deadpool 3 poster. Yeah, Brandon, where are you at with the first Deadpool movie, man? When did you watch this for the first time? What was your initial reactions? How you feeling about this thing?
So I'm kind of in the same boat as Ericka. I didn't really get into like actually watching or having a continuous watching of the superhero movies until the mid to late 2010s. I was kind of on and off. Before that point, I'd catch a movie here and there, if it was on TV or something. But probably right around the time Infinity War came out, that's when I started to prep myself into watching a little bit of the Marvel movies or just outside of the superhero movies. And Deadpool was actually one of the movies, even though it had nothing to do with that at that point. Deadpool is just such a really well-written story from that point. I think having rewatched it last week in prep for Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't think the jokes land as hard as they did when I first watched it, but I think that just could be I know when the jokes are coming up, so they probably don't land as hard as when I first watched it. But I still think the story is really, really good. Ryan Reynolds just has that natural comedic charisma to him, where I just feel like he's just funny every hour of the day. You could just listen into an interview that he does, and there's just wisecracking every single minute of it. He just seems like a very positive and funny dude on and off the camera. So him just fitting into this role is just perfect. Like Ericka said, I don't see anybody who would play Deadpool as good as Ryan Reynolds. He was made for Deadpool, which I think that's the one character that he's always wanted to play. Even when X-Men Origins Wolverine came out, he was so fond of the character, and for him to actually be able to have a whole movie based on that character and he's able to play is just really, really good. I like the chemistry between the romantic leads. I mean, I think they just hit it off pretty good. And I liked Ajax in this movie. I thought it was a pretty solid villain to go up against Deadpool, just to counteract with what he believes. I think this is definitely one of those generational superhero movies that will just come back at you. It will. I mean, of course, the jokes are gonna be dated and such, but due to the time it was made. But I think outside of that, I think the movie's just told well enough where you could watch it at any point and you completely understand it. I'm just gonna echo off everybody else. It's just a fantastic movie.
I feel you, dude. I remember seeing this in theaters, man. There was a weird point in time when I was in high school where my parents had separated, and the girl I was dating at the time, when we would see movies, we'd always bring my mom with us. It's like a third wheel. That way she felt included, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, Batman versus Superman, she came with. Finding Dory, which we talked about on the podcast a few weeks ago, she came with. My mom and I saw The Killing Joke together, Suicide Squad. But Deadpool was something different. Like, my mom was excited for this movie. She was a big Ryan Reynolds fan, or is a big Ryan Reynolds fan. And, like, I could not tell you what that girl's reaction was for this movie whatsoever. But I'll never forget, like, my mom's priceless face walking out of seeing Deadpool opening day.
That's nice.
Absolutely loving this fucking movie. And kind of echoing what everyone's saying, more or less. Like, this movie is timeless almost, in my opinion. It is a very, very solid superhero film. And in a way, it doesn't even feel like a superhero movie. Like, I remember, like, this just got, like, a blockbuster treatment to me. Like, I have the soundtrack on CD at my mom's house somewhere, kind of thing. This was like one of the first steelbooks I bought physically right away when it came out. I had the whole line of pop figures to go with it too. Like, this movie's great. I love the hell out of it. I really don't have any other unique things to say about it, unfortunately. But I think, like, that also is a testament of its own of just how solid this is over all these years too.
I think that the first Deadpool movie sets the groundwork for what an R-rated superhero movie could be.
Absolutely.
Like, because you take a look at, like, Joker and, like, the Suicide Squad, like the James Gunn version, like, all those movies probably wouldn't have been made, really, if it wasn't for Deadpool. Yeah, they probably wouldn't have been possible.
It's a good thought, yeah. Well, also, think about it. This was Ryan Reynolds, like, he was already playing Deadpool in the other film and then got killed off, and he really just hated how his character got developed. Yeah. And he was like, no, I've been waiting to play this character. And he took it in his own hands, and I respect that. And he ended up making it into what? Not blockbuster. A huge hit and a huge success in the theaters. So, I mean, kudos to him. It's also just a testament to Ryan Reynolds and his type of work as well, not only as an actor, but just as a writer, you know, as someone who was like, I'm going to play this character and I'm going to do it damn well. And he did. Like, I have no notes for any of the Deadpool movies. I think they're all fantastic. But,
yeah.
You know,
I agree.
So, yeah, if you really think about it, like, yeah, his writing credits don't really get talked about as much for all three Deadpool movies, really, just for how crafted, I guess, how respectful he is to the character itself. Yeah, good point there, Naima.
Matt, where are you at with this one? Obviously, you're a big Marvel enthusiast. You know, it's kind of a whole Instagram name, Matt the Marvel fan. You know, you just love sucking off anything Stan Lee's shoved out. What do you feel about this one?
Ow.
Well, so when the first Deadpool movie came out, I was actually in middle school. I was in, like, 7th grade, and I wasn't allowed to see it, so I pirated it.
You pirated this thing? What?
Yeah, no, because, like, my parents wouldn't let me see it. They wouldn't take me to the theaters because they were like, "Yeah, you're too young."
Allegedly, you pirated it.
I'm 21. Yeah. But, so, yeah, no, my parents wouldn't let me see it, so I was just like, screw this. This movie looks hilarious, and it's a Marvel movie, so I gotta see it. So I watched it on some website and absolutely loved it. I watched it a second time, and then it, like, came out on DVD, and I was in the store with my dad, and I was like, hey, can you buy me the Deadpool DVD? And he was like, no, you're too young for that. And I was like, well, I've already seen the movie. So, and he's like,
what?
So he was like, what? What do you mean you've already seen it? And I was like, I mean, I've already seen it. So, I mean, you're not stopping anything. He was like, all right, fine.
Jesus, dude.
And where's the DVD?
It's on my shelf. I've got, like, all my DVDs. Hold on. I'll go grab it.
I just realized I opened the blinds. It just made white as fuck just now, dude. Jesus Christ. I gotta close those
I accidentally turned my TV on.
Closing those back up. God damn.
Yeah, here's the first one right here.
Hey.
Yeah. Nice. And then I've got, of course, Deadpool 2, and then there's Logan.
So
nice. Yeah. But so yeah, and then I also didn't see Logan in theaters because, again, that was like only a year after. My parents didn't really come around to letting me see R-rated movies until I was, like, in high school. So I can't remember if I saw Logan before or after Deadpool 2, but once when I went to see Deadpool 2, I had known how it ended.
Okay.
But and actually Deadpool 2 I did see in theaters, and I think that was the first R-rated theater experience I ever had.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
you
I
make
saw
me
it with
feel
my sister.
old, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, and like watching the first Deadpool movie, especially in middle school when I was like, in middle school, it was like the perfect movie for the time being, and like it still holds up. I still laugh like hell every time I see it. All the bloody goodness.
Mhm.
It's like and like I really appreciate this movie, not just for what it is, but like because like we've all stated before, you could tell Ryan Reynolds was not happy with how Deadpool was portrayed in X-Men Origins Wolverine, and you could tell he identifies with this character so much. Like you see everybody, he's like, yeah, no, Ryan Reynolds is practically playing himself, and it works for this character.
Mhm.
And so you can tell he was like, I need to do this right. It won't settle. And so he finally made it. Everybody fucking loved it, and now the third one's out. So I mean, that just goes to show you. It's like Stan Lee said: if you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. And I think that's just a perfect testimony to it.
Absolutely, dude.
yeah.
100% agree with that.
Mhm.
Beautifully put, actually.
Thank you.
Knowing that he didn't even take a big, cut for that movie just to get it going. I think he didn't even get paid, more than like $1 million or $2 million, and then took residuals on it.
He
Smartly.
spent a lot of money. He spent a
A
lot
lot.
of his own
That is
money
pretty smart.
Yeah.
on this movie. I mean, I don't know
It's
if
a
you guys know
budget
this,
film
but-
of all of them.
Yeah, but like, you guys remember the first flashback in the first Deadpool movies when he like goes to the dude's apartment and he's like threatening the stalker pizza boy. He's wearing a B. Arthur shirt from the Golden Girls, and Ryan
Yes, he
Reynolds
is,
paid
yes.
money out of his own pocket just so he could wear a B. Arthur shirt from the Golden.
That's crazy.
Which I love because he starred with Betty White in was it the proposal that they were both
Yep.
in?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Me and
And I'm
Betty White
also
have the
just
same
a fan of the
birthday.
Golden
I love me,
Girls.
my Betty. R.I.P. girl.
Yeah. Damn. Naima, you got
She
the
made it
Blade
to
Runner-
100 in my mind.
Naima, you got the Blade Runner 2049 lighting going on right now.
I put the TV on. I know it's groovy.
It is. I'm just like, okay, we got the Ana de Armas vibe going on here. Okay.
You trying to see some lights?
I just put my TV on. I was like, that's smart.
Yeah. All right, Matt's just
Red lighting.
Jesus
Deadpool.
Christ. Yeah.
I'm digging it.
Wait, hold on. I could do. Oh, not that.
Oh shoot, that's so cool.
I just got new lights, and I'm like
Oh,
really
yeah.
loving it.
I just didn't feel like plugging in my
All
audition.
right, I got red and yellow going.
too much.
There
I
you
like the
go.
red and yellow. Fist
Thank
theme.
you.
There you go.
Actually
There
looks
you go.
really good.
Thank
What's,
you. Yeah,
um,
it's got like a police siren mode on it too, which is really funny.
Let's talk gripes if we have any with the first Deadpool film. Brandon, I'm putting you up for this one first. You've been around the block critiquing some superhero movies with us in the podcast before. Do you have any issues with Deadpool?
I mean, like I said, the only thing really is just that the jokes don't land as hard as like the first viewing. But I mean, that's just a nitpick, really. I mean, it's everything
And
else
you-
just works in this movie. Just from like the setup to going like back and forth between linear and the flashbacks, it's just nicely balanced on how the pacing is throughout it all. And I mean, I'm gonna reference this throughout the whole stream, but I definitely think the soundtracks to all three movies are very underrated. Just how well they fit into each movie, just top notch. Whoever does the music supervising for all these movies just deserves a round of applause. Like they just find the perfect music for each individual film. But yeah, I mean, I have no gripes with this movie at all.
Okay. And Eric, do you have any critiques or gripes of the first Deadpool?
We'll say, if we didn't see the third one, if I go back in time to after watching Deadpool 1 and then watching Deadpool 2, when we get into Deadpool 2 in a second and kind of my opposite feelings on that one, it made me question some things in Deadpool 1, but I think rewatching it now in current times, knowing what I know, I appreciate it that much more. because like we said earlier, it's like Ryan Reynolds playing himself as a character, and I was still iffy on the Ryan Reynolds personality at the time. The jokes, like we said, either land or they don't land, and I still feel that way about him, and I'll bring that up a couple of times in Deadpool 2 and the most recent one. At the time, I think after rewatching it so many times, going back, some of them don't hit as much, and I think that kind of affected my perception on it. But I think at some points he's a little ridiculous, but that's what makes him him. And I think at the time I didn't get that. I didn't get that at the time. So in the past, I would have had more negative experience, you know, or more negative things to say about the movie. But moving forward, seeing Logan, Deadpool 2, Deadpool 3, and all of the rest of the MCU and DC even, it made me appreciate it more. So I think any of my previous negative opinions on the first movie have been taken away. Rewatching it now, what are we, 8 years later almost? So currently, I don't really have much to say about the first one. Will have some opinions on the second one when we see him again come back on the big screen after such a big, you know, transition. But to the point also about how Ryan Reynolds felt as the character, I would say I can't even knock it. I can't knock the adaptation, his first try at it. I really don't have too much to say now, other than, like we said, the jokes. They're going to land or they're not going to land. Like, it's all a matter of opinion, I think, at that point of whether that's your humor. My dad, for example, he will eat that humor up. Like, my dad is a bike riding, truck driving, you know, those t-shirts with the skulls and the eagles. Like, that is my father through and through. So people with that kind of personality are never going to stop watching these movies. And I think I had to buy into that a little bit. So, yeah.
I gotcha. Great depiction as well of your father. I love that, actually.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's a big fan now, so I think seeing a different personality watch it, I think helped me appreciate it more. So I'll save my negative comments for Deadpool 2 when we get into that one.
Okay. And Naima, what about you? Do you have any gripes with Deadpool?
Look, you know me. I'm the first to come in for criticism when I see it. But man, he ate, left no crumbs, shot it, killed it, burned it, bloodied it, pulled it,
Spread the ashes out.
ate. I mean, he could have pissed on it for all I care. He did so good. I have no notes. I have no notes.
Okay. And Matt, where are you at with gripes of this one?
Honestly, I have no gripes with the movie, but something did come to my mind. Ever since we started talking about this movie, y'all been referring to the villain as Ajax. His name is Francis.
That was
my name.
That was
my name.
That was just in my head for like the past 20 minutes, and I was like, I gotta say it.
I was
But
waiting
no,
for it.
no gripes with the original movie. Loved it since I first watched it. Love it to this day. And I just really love how it paved the road for all these other more mature R-rated superhero stuff that we have. Like it paved. Like, I feel like without Deadpool, Logan wouldn't have been rated R. I feel like without Deadpool, we wouldn't have The Boys, which is honestly one of my favorite shows. And it's just, I did love the hell out of it. No complaints. Just chef's kiss. Good job.
You like Francis as a villain?
Yeah, he was all right. I thought the actor did a good job with the performance.
He's better than most MCU villains.
He reminds me of, and funny enough, he is an MCU villain technically too. The guy that plays Drago's son in Creed, who's one of the throwaway villains in Shang-Chi. He kind of reminds me of him almost. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah? No?
I'm blanking.
The Russian dude, I couldn't tell you his name.
You're talking about the big guy with the blade on his head?
Yeah, from Shang-Chi. Yeah, that dude.
Yeah. Fucking Razor Fist or whatever his name was.
Yeah, that fucker.
Razor Fist, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he reminds me of him
Taser
visually.
Face, but that's the Guardians of the Galaxy guy.
Taser
Face!
But
Well,
yeah.
I'm so glad you mentioned Guardians. I think that's another one that got me to watch Deadpool, now that you bring that up.
Really?
Because Guardians 2...
Peter Quill and Wade Wilson kind of have like a bit of the same humor. One leaning towards it more than the other, but I feel like those two could crack jokes together and it'd be entertaining.
I think Deadpool definitely made me appreciate Guardians, and Guardians is another one of my comfort, groups of people. I love Guardians, and I think seeing Deadpool first, and that was again my way of transitioning into the MCU, seeing Guardians in the theater again, I was like, okay, I'm bought. And I can thank Ryan Reynolds for that because, like I said, I had only been watching X-Men up until that point. So I'm glad you brought up Guardians because, yeah, that was also a time right around Logan and everything, too.
Oh my God, I never told you. Oh my God. You know, Ryan Reynolds owns a soccer team. What is it? The Rex?
Does.
He does.
With
Yeah,
the
so
Always Sunny
they
guy.
were here last year at the TST tournament, and my brother-in-law was playing in that tournament. And I was like, yeah, let's go watch him. And the whole time I'm just like, where the hell is Ryan Reynolds? Because the team was there. Ryan Reynolds was not there, by the way. But I had a dream once that I told Ryan Reynolds we were going to work together one day, and he was happy about it. So Ryan Reynolds has a special place in my heart, man. Like, he really
Hey,
does.
don't give up on that, because that might happen.
I did. I told Matthew Lillard that.
Yeah.
I told Matthew Lillard
What'd he
that.
say? What'd he say?
He smiled at me and was like, yeah. And I was like, that's all I needed to hear. And it's all on audio that Max has because I went in and I hid a microphone. My whole
Nice.
interaction with him.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Nice.
He was just like, and he was also exhausted. This man was doing hours and hours and hours of talking to people. And by the time I got up, he recognized me earlier. He was really sweet. Shook his hand. He gave me a hug. I talked to him. I gave him another hug. He gives the best hugs. And I told him, I was like, you know, I'm going to be a future scream queen. I'm going to be a future scream queen. And I can't wait to work with you one day. And he shook my hand. He was smiling and all that. I was like, this guy probably does not care. But you know what? When it happens one day, he's going to be like, oh, yeah, that girl.
I
I
shook
don't
her
You have
hand
the
once.
audio.
I remember her, and I'll have the audio when we're on Jimmy Fallon. But that's for
There you
another. And
go.
then we'll bring
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds in as a guest. You know, that's for another time.
So basically, if you're working in the cartel, don't trust Naima. She's wired. She's tapped nonstop. That's what you can get from that conversation. Before we move on to Deadpool 2, let's give our final ratings for the first film. Yeah, like this thing is I hate to use. I don't use this word very often. I feel like, but it's a perfect movie for what it is. You know, maybe it could have done things differently, but I don't think it needs to. Honestly, I think this is perfect for what it is. Yeah, this is a straight Coruscant for me. I love the first Deadpool movie. Brandon, where are you at with Deadpool?
I think I'm giving it a best spin on the way to Coruscant.
Okay.
Yeah. No further notes. I mean, I said what I said. Really, I mean, like I said, the jokes aren't as funny now, but that's just a small gripe with me. I mean, it still works with the movie. Yeah, that's about it for that one.
Okay. And Naima, what's your rating for Deadpool?
A croissant warmed up with butter, maybe some Nutella. Ooh, that was.
Ooh.
Yeah, you and Harold both of your croissants. That's.
No, I said a croissant. I just
I know.
gotta add all the other good stuff to
Good
it.
job, my croissant.
I know Harold. I love Harold to death. He's never seen Star Wars. I can't believe it.
I'm new to Star Wars, but hey, I'm in it now.
I still haven't seen it.
Listen, I'm a newbie, and I had my first experience watching the Phantom Menace in theaters for the reunion.
Oh,
And
so
it was
good.
the best first experience in the Star Wars universe ever.
That would be
so
nice.
now I'm like so excited to continue watching and being part of it and see what happens.
You know what
Shoot.
we need to do, Brandon, for the showcase is get you and Naima together for the drunk table read for see what you want to do for Star Wars. That'd be
You did a
beautiful.
drunk table read?
That we'll talk about that off air. That's a series we're
I
doing
want to do a
at some
drunk
point.
table
I
read.
don't drink.
An Anakin Padme scene.
I'll just take a Delta. I don't drink, but I'll take a Delta and we'll have a blast.
There you go. Close enough for me. Close enough.
There.
Ericka, where are you at if you're rating for Deadpool, the first one?
Knowing what I know now, I'm gonna definitely give it a Coruscant. I think if you asked me this a couple of years ago, I would have been leaning more towards, on the way to it. But knowing what I know now, I definitely appreciate it so much more. So I think I'm gonna stick with that.
Okay. Awesome. Matt, I got a feeling I already know what this one is, bro. But let me hear it
Yeah.
anyways. Let me hear it.
This is probably like the biggest, crunchiest, juiciest chimichanga you could ever eat.
Oh, Jesus.
But a movie.
Yeah. Okay.
It's great.
So a Hoth then?
Huh?
You give it a Hoth?
Yeah, Hoth.
We used to have so many Star Wars fans on this podcast. It's crazy. We did Star Wars past 2 weeks in a row on the show, and here we are. God damn it.
The
Oh.
best of
I've
guys.
seen-
Marvel people people out of our basement.
I've seen the original trilogy, and the new trilogy, and yeah,
Trilogy.
You haven't seen the
trilogy.
Anyways,
Okay. Oh wait, no. Okay, I've seen Phantom Menace, and I tried to watch Attack of the Clones, but I was awake for 24 hours prior and fell asleep. And yeah. I was with my
all right,
friend
guys,
who's a
this is
big
gonna be
Star
Matt's
Wars
last
fan.
episode on the podcast. He hasn't seen it. That's crazy, dude.
It's been fun, but I've never seen any part of Revenge of the Sith. But I mean, that one's probably not that important. So
If there's a hell, you got a special spot for it, dude. We're gonna Kubrick your ass for Revenge of the Sith. That's what you're doing. That is crazy.
okay.
Before we move on to Deadpool
Highlights
2, though, before we move on to Deadpool 2, going back to the chat, Harold's our biggest supporter, I swear to God. He wants me to sign either the pin or the Deadpool poster if he wants to give away. He says, to me, a signature from Max is more important than any actor's signature. I love you to death, Harold. You're such a G. Such a G.
Do the Marvel.
Yeah, no, do the Marvels, because you'll add value to it when you sign that one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Also, you just love it so much, right?
Yeah.
You know.
And for our listeners just tuning in, we are giving away The Marvels pin, as well as this bad boy. So comment down below which is your favorite Deadpool movie and why for a chance to win. We'll be going over that
Also,
soon.
subscribe to the YouTube channel and give a like to this live stream.
There you go.
And you got to be specific. You can't just be like, I like it because it's good. You got to give a whole sentence.
Yeah.
Whole paragraph.
Period and everything.
A whole paragraph.
Each paragraph.
500 character limit
In MLA
format.
MLA.
Checking.
with a bibliography.
Chicago
And we're going to scan
format.
it for AI.
Cited as well. But moving on to the next mystery movie, our final mystery package here from the mouse. Brandon, you gonna give me a little drum? Because Matt is over silent with the drums. You ready for this one? Yeah? Alright, let's see what we got going. Let's see what we got.
It's going to be The Game Plan.
The game
Starring
plan.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Hey,
wish.
I like
Yeah.
that movie.
Like, that's a good
Oh
request.
man,
No, that's a classic.
I like that.
I had this at some point as a kid, so this is cool. We got Eddie Murphy's The Haunted Mansion. Classic.
Oh.
Eh.
That's a good one.
Oh, okay.
Solid.
Had this as a kid at some
Where
point.
get these
So
random DVDs from, Max?
Disney Movies rewards. This is before they stopped doing physical rewards. So,
Oh.
or at least I think they still do some, but like, I think they were getting rid of the mystery. I don't know why I did this. They were getting rid of this tier or something. So I was like, let me go ahead and jump on this. But
For
Yeah.
stuff like this.
didn't you do the remake last year on LFG as well, Brandon?
I did talk about that, yep.
Yeah. So I need to rewatch this one. That's just in time. Is that who else is in this thing, dude? Hold on.
Is
Murphy, Jennifer Tilly, Wallace Shawn, Terrence Stamp.
Jennifer Tilly's in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like
What?
the
Miss
fortune
Tiffany
teller.
Valentine?
She's
Yeah.
she's the
Tiffany
floating head.
Valentine.
Shit.
And
Yeah, she's
from
like the floating head.
Isn't she also in Family Guy? She plays Bonnie.
Yeah, she's Bonnie in Family Guy.
I love
She's
her.
Celia. She's Mike Wazowski's girlfriend in Monsters Inc.
Oh yeah.
Jennifer
More
Tilly is.
sense now that you just said
Yeah.
it.
She's awesome.
Mm,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, really thrilled about Muppets. Love the Muppets. That's pretty fun. So there we go. That's all for the mystery stuff from Disney. Obviously, the highlight was the Marvels pin. Thanks for that one, Mickey. Let's go ahead
That's
and
some
dive.
value later down in life.
Let's go ahead and dive into Deadpool 2. A little bit of a recap for this one. A couple years later, Deadpool's salty about Wolverine dying, of course, because you got to do that on camera. But hey, spoiler alert, Deadpool dies in this one. So, start the movie off. Vanessa, the lady, gets shot. She's gone. She got right away. And Wade is grieving the whole time. He's a depressed little asshole. And all of a sudden, he has to open his heart up because there's this kid who's, I don't really know if he's getting molested or he's getting beat or what's going on in this school. However, he's getting hurt, he's freaking out, and he has mutant powers. And the X-Men rejects from the Deadpool movie had to come in and basically stop him. They get arrested at this point, Wade and the kid. They're in a super prison. They got to break out. There's this whole sequence of that going on. However, the kid has a little buddy. He has a little knock-knock buddy, if you will, in the prison. So they get out. Wade ends up putting together a team to go ahead and get the kid back to save him because, hey, that's how he gets his girl back. Because he had a little vision after dying for a second, since he had this like anti-mutant necklace going on, and he realizes, hey, his heart is not in the right place. He has to go ahead and save this kid, get his girl back. So he forms the X-Force, which is pretty cool, featuring the likes of Terry Crews, of course. We get Zazie Beetz as well from Atlanta, which I was so thrilled about. Honestly, I love Atlanta. And of course, we get Vanisher, played by Brad Pitt, which is an incredible cameo. And then during this, X-Force all dies in the most amazing way. They go ahead, they get to the kid. All hell breaks loose. There's a big truck wreck, and it's revealed that the Knock Knock Buddy is the Juggernaut. However, he looks a little different this time. It is also voiced by Ryan Reynolds, so it's pretty cool. Kid's still getting away, now teaming up with Juggernaut. Deadpool has to go ahead and figure out how to stop him. But hey, there's also this little dude named Thanos Jr., a.k.a. Cable. He's time traveling to shit. He's also after the kid because in the future, the kid destroys his family, kills him, kind of Gladiator style. And Cable wants to go ahead and baby Hitler this kid, with the whole theory of just, kind of what Don Cheadle's proposing to little Thanos in Endgame. So yeah, Cable's after him. Then Cable has to team up with the remains of X-Force. They get to the kid. They save the day. Deadpool ends up dying, but however, Cable goes back in time using the last little bit of plutonium for his flux capacitor. And kind of goes ahead and put a little metal in Deadpool's shirt pocket. Stops a bullet because it's a lead little metal. And Deadpool gets to live. And at the very end of this thing in the post-credits, after everyone's happily ever after, we get a little time travel abuse, which is pretty awesome. He takes the little watch, he repairs it from Cable, and goes and corrects everything wrong. So he gets his girl back. He shoots Ryan Reynolds in the head for doing Green Lantern, which is pretty awesome. He shoots the former Deadpool and X-Men Origins Wolverine as well. And it's just a great little time traveling montage. This came out in 2018. I was finishing up high school at this point. And yeah, this came also in a really sweet spot with movies where Infinity War came out, Solo: A Star Wars Story came out, and Deadpool 2 came out. And this is one of the reasons why Solo just got fucked in the ass and just absolutely bombed in the box office. Brandon, did you see this in theaters? Where were you at with this one?
I actually did see this in theaters because it was weird because Infinity War came out, I think, a couple weeks or a month before Deadpool 2. So the timing of Josh Brolin playing these two villains, it's just crazy and hilarious when you think about it. I think this was actually the first time, around the release of Deadpool 2, where I actually first started watching the first Deadpool movie. So I was kind of a little bit more prepared. I was actually too spoiled by the Logan death in this movie too. So Logan was actually the first time I actually watched Logan was last week, right before I got to see Deadpool and Wolverine. So not that it takes away anything from that, but I knew Logan was dead at that point. So I would say for Deadpool 2, what I said about the first movie, it's in reverse for me. Because I think the jokes are funnier in this one for some reason, but I don't think the story holds up as much as the first one does.
Okay.
Not to say that the story isn't bad in this one, I just think there's a lot more issues with it compared to the first one, where I think it's the actual screenplay for it, I think is near perfect in Deadpool 1. But I mean, Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds plays him again. Same old Deadpool. I think again the music is good in this one too. I would also say Josh Brolin does a good job with Cable in this one too. Although I wish I did see more of Deadpool and Cable team up in this movie. I think that would have been cool. Also because they team up a lot together in the comics too, so I think that would have been a nice dynamic to see, kind of in the same vein as Wolverine and Deadpool, I would think. I didn't like Russell in this movie. I don't know. I didn't find the kid that intriguing to me after rewatching this not too long ago, actually, in preparing for Deadpool 3. But yeah, I don't know what was it. I don't know if it was just the story that was given about the kid or just the performance from him, but I just didn't really latch on to Russell in this whole movie, which is a little disappointing because he is half of what the story is about. I thought seeing Juggernaut was pretty cool in this movie. I also forgot that Ryan Reynolds played Juggernaut, so that was a good little tidbit there. And Max, how could you forget about the best character, Peter?
Oh yeah, how
Peter's
can I
the best
forget about
character
Sugar
in the
Baby?
movie.
God, Peanut.
Peter.
Everybody loves
Name Peter.
Oh
Everybody
yeah,
needs a Peter.
Come
Sorry,
on.
man.
we love Peter.
Why are you disrespectful to
Peter's
Peter?
great.
Mm-hmm.
Peter's awesome.
Best thing to come out of the movie.
Exactly. But continuing on, what the story was, I liked the idea of Deadpool and, coming to grips with, like, having people beside him, like, actually having, like, a family to, like, be by his side whenever he's down, when stuff like, his girlfriend dying. Like, I think I like the thematic sense of the story rather than having the whole thing played out. But I think those are my general thoughts right now.
Okay.
With it.
Okay. And Naima, what about you? Did you see this in theater? Or you didn't see this in theaters, you said no. So
I remember I watched both of them last year.
yeah, what are some of your general thoughts on Deadpool 2 then?
So I actually can agree on some parts that Brandon touched on, which is kind of the story itself is not bad, but it's just maybe not as intriguing as the first movie, or at least maybe makes a little bit more sense than the first movie. And that does not discredit necessarily the film, but obviously it's kind of similar to Terrifier and Terrifier 2. Like, Terrifier 1 was a perfect horror film. I mean, a perfect absurdist horror film, truly in and out. I think with the second movie, it did one-up itself, kind of like how you're saying in jokes, and one-up itself in quality and budget. And Ryan Reynolds, it's still a phenomenal, and very important, aspect to this entire thing. And of course, Peter, how could we forget? But I think because of this extended storyline, which a lot of movies do when it comes to a sequel, it's a very common thing. I think that it does take away a little bit from how perfect that first movie was, and a story that I also wasn't necessarily like super invested in. But at the end of the day, it was still a very enjoyable film. I totally watch it again, and I definitely think it's still very high up there in quality and production and overall viewership. So to me, it's as I thought a sequel would be, but better, because most sequels usually suck. It's the least favorite of all of the Deadpool movies that I have seen, but that doesn't mean that it is a bad movie.
Sure.
It's still a movie I would go back and watch again.
Yeah.
100%. And the post-credit scene, I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says, the post-credit scene was brilliant.
Oh, absolutely.
They were good. Yeah.
I have nothing more to say on that. It was brilliant. But also, I'm a sucker for a little cheesy romance story as well, and I think they do a really good job at kind of, and they kind of, I don't want to say hint a little bit into the third movie, but the aspect of, the time police and the timeline that was very much mentioned in the third movie, some of it is a little bit implied in that second movie. And I think until you watch the third, you're not going to see it and appreciate it in the second movie. But overall, I enjoyed it. But, a sequel's a sequel. It's just how it is.
Yeah. I will say, and going back to your comment about the TV, and obviously we'll talk about this in the third film. The third film, after watching its entirety, makes me appreciate 2 more. And that's not me like downing 2. I remember walking out of the theater opening night and I liked this more than the first film. However, yeah, but upon rewatching,
2 kicks ass.
2 was great, yeah, but like upon rewatching it, it's like I am a little less drawn in, and I don't want to say not paying attention the whole time, but like, and to what Brandon's saying, like the Russell stuff just isn't like as strong as I remembered for some reason. Like upon rewatches, it just doesn't stick that well. I think everything with Cable is incredible. I love the relationship with Colossus still being, as it is as the first one. I think everyone from the first film translates really well to the second one. Blind Owl's great. T.J. Miller's character is even funnier in this one, in my opinion.
Blind Owl.
I didn't forget, dude.
Blind Owl.
You can't forget about Blind Owl.
We forgot to talk about Blind
That's
Owl.
what you
Yeah.
call her?
That's right. Yeah.
Want to do some cocaine?
I don't know, man. Like, Deadpool 2, I really enjoy, but like now that it's aged a bit, it's not right there anymore with it. It's just a step below, in my opinion. But still a great movie, and we'll kind of dive into some of the gripes of those in a few minutes, though, of course. But I remember seeing this opening night with some of my best friends at the time on like IMAX. 2018 was the year, and I talked about this in this article I was interviewed a few months ago, but like 2018 specifically was like me finding my love for film again, and in a way was like, this might be this might be hypocritical in a sense, but like I was very against film school, but now I'm going to film school in a couple months, and so like everything I've done up until in a few months from now is everything is self-taught pretty much. So like I really credit the year of 2018 as like my first steps in film school, because that's what I was watching to inspire everything that I'm making here on out. And like Infinity War, Solo, like I mentioned, Deadpool 2, Incredibles 2, Black Panther, Overlord came out, I think. No, Overlord was next year, I think.
That was a stacked year.
Yeah, 2018 was one of the greatest years of film, in my opinion. Mandy came out that year. I mean, like...
Ari Aster was introduced that year.
Yeah, I mean,
Black
there's
Panther
just
came out that year, too.
Yeah.
so much came out. And Deadpool
2019
2...
was a really good one, too.
And Deadpool 2 was definitely one of those entries where it made me appreciate more comedy, for sure. So, like, I don't think it's as great as the first one. Like, I definitely can still credit it. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
Wait a minute. You made a comment I forgot to say earlier when you were making your 2 Tarantino comments to the first film. That was brilliant. I just wanted to let you know that. I forgot about
Thank
that.
you. True Romance, yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. He said True Romance and he said Kill Bill. And I was like, I'm going to say something. And I forgot, but I just remembered. That was beautiful work.
Thank you. Are you eating ice cream?
What flavor?
Yeah, what flavor?
My husband may have let me take a bite of my Delta before he left.
Oh.
This is Jenny's ice cream powdered jelly donut.
Ooh.
It is. I don't know why I had to read it. I knew exactly what it was. But...
I had to make sure.
Got Matt with the fucking juice over here, and Naeem with the whole ice cream pint over here as well. I love it.
Hey,
how long have we been on this? How long have we been talking now?
We've only been going on for about 2
I've got-
hours so far.
Hey, I've
Yeah,
got pizza rolls cooking. I'm here for the long
That's what
run.
I'm talking
Oh
about.
my god.
Pizza
We're
rolls.
just stocking in. We're getting ready here.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Ericka, where are you at with Deadpool 2? Did you watch this opening weekend?
Yes. I did go see Deadpool 2 when it came out. This was also the time when I think Dark Phoenix came out and New Mutants had come out. And so we were really thirsty.
I think
as
that was the
X-Men
year
fans.
after.
Yeah, like it was,
Wrong.
the
My
talks
bad.
were happening. Yeah,
Yeah,
the talks were
yeah.
happening.
Oh, yeah.
All these
Yeah.
X-Men movies. I just have a memory of that around that time. So the talks were happening on what they were going to do with New Mutants, and already banking off the hype of Deadpool 1, I went into Deadpool 2 super excited to see where it was going to go. I think I have a lot of similar opinions that have been said about Russell, the character. You don't really, bond with him the moment you see him. Like, I get the intention of his character, just another mutant that's trying to be controlled by a corporation that wants to perverse their powers and thinks of them as garbage and trash. So we can empathize with that if you've watched any of the X-Men movies. That's, a common theme to the mutants and the humans. So watching it then, I left the theater pretty disappointed, to be quite honest, comparing it to Deadpool 1 because of the jokes. I think Ryan Reynolds had a little bit too much freedom in some of the jokes. They didn't land for me personally. And I consider myself, a pretty easily, pleasable person when it comes to movies. I think my threshold for not liking a movie is pretty low.
Okay.
And to be honest, my first watch, I was like, I could not watch this again and be totally fine. And that's essentially what happened. I didn't rewatch it for quite some time. Because I just couldn't get through the story, the flow of the story. I get what was happening. I loved that we had cable. my hopes for Cable were not met. And I know that, seeing him later on wasn't going to be a thing with the whole Fox and Disney. And, he was on for multiple movies. Obviously, that didn't happen. So were there parts in the movie that I loved? Absolutely. I loved the music. I loved the fighting sequences. Domino, loved her. I liked the X-Force, and seeing Weasel again when Weasel comes in and helps him kind of vet through all of these people and building up the X-Force. And I liked that bit. But I think overall, the villain fell short. Was he crazy? Yes. Was he, somebody that I could see as a villain? Yes. But I didn't buy into, what Deadpool was putting himself through. Post Vanessa, him still fighting the idea of him being on a team. He comes from the Special Forces and he was, a mercenary and all of this stuff. So we're still working through character development, which I think was great. I loved him as a character, the way that he portrayed his, growth as Deadpool, with defending a kid. He, like he mentions later on in the movies, he has, he's morally, left or right. He can go either way, whether he's going to be a complete dickhead or he's going to have a heart. I loved that part of it, that we got to see Deadpool kind of work through his own personal, with the throwbacks of Vanessa coming up and saying, your heart's not in the right place. And we get that aspect of him as Wade Wilson and kind of coming into being Deadpool, which I think watching it now and rewatching it, I appreciate for what it set up for Deadpool 3. Seeing the little bits and pieces that came to life in the next movie, I have a new appreciation for it watching it, so many years later, watching it in 2024. I just gave it another watch last week. I was like, okay, maybe I was a little too harsh upon initial perception. Maybe I was riding on, the high that I got off of Deadpool, the first one. But overall, I think I wish we could have got a little bit more out of the whole Cable and Deadpool relationship. I love Cable in the comics, obviously, as an X-Men fan, and knowing his story and him as a character. And I think also it was perfect timing to bring in time travel. The fact that he was able to jump timelines, I think that maybe wasn't, going to be a thing in the future, but it worked out perfect with the way the rest of the MCU went. So at the moment, I did not love Deadpool 2. Watching it now, seeing all of the other Marvel stories, all of the character development, I think it is very important that he had that. I just wish the storytelling, the flow of it made me want to like and, grab onto Russell. He kind of had that same humor as Deadpool at some point. They kind of had that back and forth of the raunchy jokes and being rough around the edges. But it was not my favorite. And it probably will still sit at number 3 for me, even after all of it.
Okay. Let me ask you this then, because you have that experience with the comics. What do you wish was different with Cable? Because I'm not familiar with him from a comic standpoint, honestly.
I wish we would have got a little bit more of that, X-Men 97 Cable, him being with Scott, being with Jean, some of that storytelling of how he became a thing, that the way that he time travels, why he has his, I loved seeing him. I loved Josh Brolin as Cable. I really wish we got to see him go more into his story. We got him to pop up. He was kind of coming to beat up everybody that killed his family, which makes sense. I wish we could have got a little bit more of the background story, and maybe in later movies, maybe not in that movie per se, where they had, it would have been too much to like go back into Cable as a character in Deadpool 2. From the comics, I would have, but again, I think it's the whole X-Men Fox thing at the time wasn't going to work out with mentioning other characters. But I did love the cameo we got from the other X-Men when they're in the room, when he's at the house with Colossus, and they open the room and they're in the back. Loved that.
That is a solid cameo too. I remember that. Yeah. Oh man, that gave me hope for Evan Peters in WandaVision, but Ralph Boner.
Yeah.
Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner. All that
Boner.
for a dick joke.
Yeah. Gotta love it. Okay. I'm here for it,
It's just
though.
kind of a metaphor for how the MCU's been the past couple of years.
Yeah, just a dick joke, dude.
All that for a
Really
dick
good
joke.
with the Terrifier though comparison. I think that's a great comparison, comparing it to like Terrifier 1 versus Terrifier 2. I think that's awesome because that's exactly what happened. Like the second one,
And
up the
what
ante.
happened after? This third one? Watch. It's going to be spectacular. Like how Deadpool 3 Wolverine is.
Oh, okay. I love it. Well, you know what? We're already doing Terrifier 3 later this year. Since
I
you're a
told you I'm
fan
in
of,
it.
I know you are.
ready?
Ericka, since it sounds like you're a Terrifier fan, I'm gonna hold you a spy for that episode. We're gonna compare it to Deadpool, the trilogy. That'll be the big
Welcome,
comparison.
girl. We're gonna have a blast.
I love it. Now, Matt, where are you at with Deadpool 2, man? How are you feeling about this one?
Honestly, like I said, I think Deadpool 2 was the first like R-rated movie I saw in a theater.
Yeah.
And I had seen Deadpool 1, and I'm pretty sure I did see Logan beforehand. And like as soon as that opening scene where he's like smoking the cigarette and he's making the little Logan music box where he's stabbed through the tree, that got a big laugh out of me, and I was like, okay, we're in for some good shit.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, I really have no issues with it. I honestly think, because like I've noticed that, especially with the new Deadpool and Wolverine, that like the story kind of gets more and more chaotic as you go. Like the first one's definitely really self-contained.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, yeah, it's in this other universe with all the X-Men, but you can tell like it doesn't go too fantastical beyond like normal superhero movies. And then you've got Deadpool 2 where they're introducing time travel and all this, and then you got Deadpool 3 where they're doing the multiverse. So like I think that was a good transitional period between Deadpool 1 and Deadpool and Wolverine, especially now looking back. I didn't get the chance to rewatch Deadpool 2 before I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, but I did rewatch Deadpool 1 and Logan. And I'm gonna differ here from everybody else for a little bit. I've never really had a problem with Russell's character. I thought it was a nice little, like, and honestly, I didn't notice this until like today while we were talking about this. But you know how like at the beginning where he was like, when he blows himself up, he's like, "Fuck Wolverine, that motherfucker, he died," and like up the ending, and so he's like, "Well, fuck that, I'm dying in this one too." I think they also put Russell in that movie to have Wade be that like older guy helping out a kid kind of storyline, like what Logan did.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. So I think that I think that's the core reason why Russell was in that movie, and I didn't even realize it until like about 10 minutes ago.
That blew my mind.
Yeah, man.
that
You just made me respect this a bit
I did not
more.
think about that.
Yeah. So,
Good job.
and of course, I shat my pants when Juggernaut came out. I love the Juggernaut, and like that was the first time, like, because like, you know, we've all seen the Juggernaut from the other X-Men movies. Did a fine job, but that is what Juggernaut looks like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's big, he's like a hulking type character, and it was funny that because I didn't find out that Ryan Reynolds voiced him until after I saw it, but that just added to it as well.
Of course.
Also this one I feel like isn't like Deadpool 2 is definitely a much more comic booky feeling movie. And then Deadpool and Wolverine is way more comic booky than that one. So like it just everything they've done, it just keeps escalating for me. And I love that I love how like all three of the Deadpool movies, they work as a trilogy, but I also love how Logan's kind of like a side quel, you know, in it. But just, yeah, overall, I love Deadpool 2. I had a blast watching it in the theaters with my sister when we went to go see it. And especially, I was still riding the high from Infinity War 2 because, like, they were released in, like, 2 weeks after each other.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that was a good year for Marvel, and I look back on that time very fondly.
Okay. I feel like a lot of us kind of also voiced our issues with Deadpool 2 kind of already, too, with our general thoughts on this one. So instead of just highlighting directly on overall gripes, I want to go ahead and ask for everyone's final comments and overall rating on Deadpool 2. For myself, like I said, like I walked on initially thinking this was better than the first one, superior. But after sitting on it a bit, I don't know, it just doesn't land as hard, if that makes sense. I still think this is a great movie, really enjoy it, but that first one just it set a high standard. The bar is very high. For me, this is a bestman. I will definitely watch it again at some point, the super duper cut, of course. And obviously we did get Once Upon a Deadpool, which I also saw in theaters, the PG-13 cut, which is funny too.
Oh yeah.
But you know, that's
I refuse to watch it.
I refuse to.
Come on, man. Fred Savage.
That's like that's.
I was
that's
gonna
like
say
saying, hey, man,
that's
you.
Fred Savage.
No, that's like saying, hey man, you want to watch Logan on Disney Channel?
Yeah, that's the joke of it, dude.
That's true.
That's the joke.
I think there's just some characters you can't like
As a bad
kidify.
movie.
Like you
Yeah.
can't do it. If they would have tried to even make any of these PG-13, it would not have hit. Like it would have been so much worse.
Yeah.
It's not great.
That's
It's not
why
great,
the
but it's
newest
funny.
Batman sucked. Because it was PG-13. I stand by that till this day.
The new what?
Yeah, yeah.
The new Batman.
All the
The new-
Batmans are PG-13. What are you talking about?
Okay, but think about it. How good were the other ones? And then look at this.
Better than Batman and Robin.
Okay, we're not talking about Batman and Robin.
Hey, we're gonna go at it if we talk some Batman, okay? You're not gonna disrespect the Batman movies this way, homegirl.
Oh, I said, whoa, I was complimenting.
Oh, I thought you said look. Okay, I got you. You better be
No.
complimenting.
Look at the other ones, like look at the other ones, and then look at this one. You know,
Don't
But
if it
Batman,
was
you
rated
can
R,
do
it would have been
PG-13.
so. I think
don't
it would have
knock
been
my
really
Dark
fun if
Knight
it-
trilogy, homegirl. Don't knock that one
Huh?
either. Don't knock the Dark Knight
The Dark-
trilogy.
I didn't say. Did I? Do you hear
It's
what I'm
fine.
saying?
It's great. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
I love the Dark Knight trilogy. We are not talking about the Dark. I'm
I know.
saying these
I know. You
new
can't
Bat-
compare. You don't compare them. Those I'm saying. Don't try to save.
I'm comparing it because if the new one with Robert Pattinson
Mhm.
was rated R, they
Yeah.
could show the blood. They could go a little bit more depth into that storyline. It was shot so beautifully. If the story was fleshed out just a little bit more, it would have been perfect.
I think it is perfect.
The new one?
Yeah.
We'll talk later.
I would love a rated R Batman movie, but I think we'll
I want
get
a
into it. We'll get into it. But this is
We'll
Deadpool.
talk. This is Deadpool. Deadpool's great.
But yeah, this for me, this is a best spin. I do love this movie to death. Still, love all of them, of course. Obviously, no spoiler here, I guess. But Brandon, where are you at of Deadpool 2?
Giving Deadpool 2 probably a Naboo on the way to Bespin, so like a 3.5. I still found it really fun. Like it's not a bad movie at all. Just yeah, I mean the first Deadpool movie is on a pillar onto its own. So like the Deadpool 2 like was gonna struggle in its own way whether it was good or not. But I still think they've managed to find at least a decent story to tell with Deadpool. The Russell storyline I didn't really like that much. I wish they showcased Cable a little bit more and had that dynamic with Deadpool and their partnership a little bit more. But yeah, I still like the action. The jokes I think land harder for me now than the first Deadpool movie. And again, the music is good too. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Okay. And Naima, what is your final comments or rating for Deadpool 2?
You know, before the third movie came out, I would have given it a best spin. But after the final movie that came out, along with kind of Matt telling me that
I got the pizza rolls. I had to get them.
you know, I have some pizza rolls in the freezer. I'm really tempted
Cook them
now.
up. Cook them up. Let's feast.
Pizza party. Anyway,
Well, bring out the Dino Nuggets.
The Dino
Nuggets
Nuggets.
too.
Yeah, me too. I got some in my freezer.
Oh my god.
I literally
Only the best
have
year
the
Galaxy
pizza rolls
film.
and Dino Nuggets in my. I will prove it if y'all test me. They're right there. Anyway. Oh, something about Dino Nuggets just hits different. We're not going to talk about it in pizza stuff. But that's for another conversation. But so going into Deadpool 2 without seeing Deadpool 3, obviously, I would have gave it a best spin. But I think after, again, our whole conversation we had and Matt coming to that incredible realization within the film, I have to still give it a Coruscant. And the reason I say it is because of how well the movies all work together. And like how you said, a little touch of Logan. And I think when I look at these movies as a whole, it's a Coruscant. I think that because they have finally wrapped it up, my mind is now set on that. But if you had asked me this a month ago, it probably would have been investment.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Ericka, where are you at if you're waiting for Deadpool 2?
I think I'm teetering between a Naboo and a Bespin, mainly because, like I said, depending on which Ericka you ask. Do you ask the Ericka that just watched it when it came out, or do you watch the one that knows, or ask the one that knows what she knows now? I think for what it was great. I could definitely now rewatch it and appreciate it more than I could have. It set us up for a really awesome third movie. All the work that Ryan Reynolds put into 1 and 2, getting X-Men into the MCU could not have happened without this series.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have to hold 2 up to a higher standard than I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, my negatives again still remain some of the jokes not hitting for me in particular, with, overdoing it at times. I didn't buy into the kid we were saving, but I had to have a different perspective on it now that we've kind of talked through it. I liked that Deadpool had to come to terms with the team and a team up and getting help and asking for assistance, because that's how we get to Deadpool 3. I would have liked to have seen, again, more of Cable, maybe some more. I did like that we got a Cable and Colossus fight. And I like that we got a little cleanup at the end, which helped get us a really good number 3. Had he not cleaned up some other timelines, I think some of us nerds would have been picking it apart for the third movie. And I think it all happened at a perfect timing with the transition from Fox to Disney. So I think I'm leaning more towards our Bespin, but I'm still a little iffy. I think I may need to give it another watch after seeing our third one. But I can't take the third one out of my brain now, so I think I will keep it a little bit higher. So I'm going to stick between, a 3.5 and a 4, leaning more towards a 4, but still not letting go of that 3.5.
Okay, I feel you. And Matt, last but not least, where are you at with your rating for Deadpool 2?
I respect. Not much
God
respect.
Damn it, nice.
She has the
Is that cheese? Is that the cheese pizza rolls?
I had to keep my rep up.
Oh, I got the
gotcha.
combination myself.
I go classic
Classic
pepperoni.
Classic pepperoni is good. This is all they had though.
No, I gotcha.
But
It's just a pizza roll review now.
Yeah, really.
oh, that's really hot. I shouldn't have put that in my mouth yet.
Yeah, me and
That's
Eric
what
over
she
here
said.
just starving at this point, dude.
I'm eating.
Give me a sec.
Good
Take
job.
your time, enjoy it.
Drink your
had
guava
a big
juice.
Jersey Mike
Yeah,
before
no, I
we
need
got
the
started.
guava juice. Straight out of the carton, cause fuck cups.
There you go.
There you go.
Cook the dishes.
Keeping it classy.
Okay. All right. So, my final thoughts. Okay, first of all, I need to learn this rating system you guys are using because I don't know how y'all are rating this. It's like Star Wars planets or something.
This is only like your 5th appearance on the show, you know what I'm saying?
Show notes.
All right. So my final thoughts are: I think the first Deadpool has a slightly better structure. I think Deadpool 2 is more entertaining.
Okay.
But both phenomenal movies. I'd probably give them both about the same rating. But I do think the first movie is a bit more structured, and then the second movie is just like a wild ride. Like you just go for the craziness.
I gotcha. Okay. Wow. Deadpool 2. I feel old, man. This came out 2018. That's ridiculous.
That was 6 years ago.
I know,
The year I graduated
dude.
high school.
I
Oh.
know.
I was.
Hearing all that
I was
makes
a
my knees
freshman
hurt. That
in
y'all
high
are in middle
school.
school and high school when all this is happening. My back started hurting.
I think it was my first year of college when that came out. Or sorry, first or second year of college? I was 19.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
19.
I graduated in
I-
2013, so.
Yeah, I graduated
I
high
was
school
15.
like a couple weeks later after the movie came out. Wow.
I had just turned 15
Oh
right
my-
before Infinity
Oh
War
my
came out.
god.
I'm only 25 right now, but I still look at you, Matt, like you are like 21.
You're about
Yeah,
our age.
yeah,
You
dude.
look about our age.
Last year for
I'm old enough.
GalaxyCon.
Crazy. 2003 is crazy. 2003, right? If I'm doing the math
Yep,
right.
yep,
That's crazy.
yep.
That
Oh,
is
you were
crazy, dude.
2000? Oh, wow.
2003.
Last year for GalaxyCon, we all went out to Chili's afterwards, and we're all getting 3 for me's. And I looked at Matt, I was like, why aren't you getting like a margarita, dude? He's like, I'm
'Cause I
19.
wasn't old enough. I am now, though.
Yeah, it's like, God damn it, dude. God damn it. Ugh.
God bless Chili's.
Oh, cornerstone of America.
Take your hat off for Chili's.
Absolutely.
That was my first time at Chili's too.
I know. We took your Chili's virginity. We took Harold's Chili's virginity too when he came over here a few months ago, dude. Yeah.
That's an American national treasure right there.
It,
Chili.
Brandon, you
What
know
a
where
great
we're going.
Out of state.
You know, we're going in a few weeks together, dude. We're going to fucking Chili's when I'm up there in
That's
Michigan,
right.
buddy.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
You and me and Pablo, we're tearing up the Chili's. Trust me, we're going at least twice. Okay, that's what we're fucking
Get the
eating.
gallon margaritas.
Max,
Oh, yeah.
we have to double date at Chili's.
Yeah, I'm down. Kate leaves fucking Friday, bro. God damn it. God damn it. You know what? I'll still order a second 3 for me. I'll take that one home. How about that to be the
There
double
you
date?
go.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. I'm so hurt.
Only,
There's not
only
a.
the best on Galaxy Film.
I'm so hurt. There's not a Chili's in where we're going to Idaho. There's not.
Ah,
Hey, I
Nowhere
don't
near
have
you.
Chili's around me either.
where are you at, Matt?
I'm in Virginia.
Ah,
Mm.
Yeah.
you would think
Yeah.
Virginia would have a Chili.
You would think, but they're not
Yeah.
civilized over there, bro.
At least not where I come from.
They're
That's
not
not the
well
part I'm in.
cultured.
No.
There's probably like 3 Chili's within like less than 10 miles of me right now.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Different
Chili's like
colony.
5 minutes from my house.
Can we
Okay,
be
but
in there?
TGI Friday. What about TGI Friday? Is that
Yeah,
a dis-
what?
Miffy.
TGI?
No, I don't have that
Talking
either.
about TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
We have it. Not the biggest fan. I feel like I can just go to the frozen section of Walmart and it's going to be the same thing.
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
good, like straightforward,
right.
but I'm
No,
not
they're
dipping. I'm
they're
going home.
potato skins. Their potato skins are really good. You can get them at Food
They're like
Lion.
an appetizer place to me. I wouldn't get a real meal there. I would just get like 3 different apps and a margarita.
Probably
and call it a day.
appetizer sounds
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Fair.
I
That sounds
See,
right.
you go,
It is
you
definitely
go
an
there
appetizer
for the
place.
alcohol, so the food tastes better.
What would you know about alcohol, bro?
Applebee's for me. I can't.
I'm
stand
21
Applebee's. I
now.
was-
Not when you got your Chili's virginity taken, though.
Ah,
It's never as good as the first time.
yeah.
Before we talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, guys, I do want to kind of take a second, since we're out of, mystery packages from the mouse to go over. I want to take a second and talk about the merchandise for this thing. Popcorn buckets, all of that shit. It was incredible. It's no secret I work and manage at a movie theater. I'm not going to disclose what location, what brand, out of respect for the company. I do have a couple items from both AMC, Regal, and I believe Universal at like Cinemarks as well. And dude, we gotta talk about this. Brandon, now you got a popcorn bucket. Ericka, did you get anything from your theater as well?
It was a savage time to go to my theater, so unfortunately this time around I did not get anything. I think I may have to go try again at my theater. It was a madhouse that day.
Damn.
Yeah, this was one of the last things
I have
I
the
could
same
grab
Bucket
on
is
mine.
awesome.
It is nice.
That bucket is sick.
First
The
of all,
Wolverine,
that's
I
pretty
just
sick.
I know I need that thing.
I was
I
gonna
want it.
I was gonna get the Deadpool head, the popcorn bucket.
Deadpool.
I had a 6:30 showing on Thursday night, and they were already sold out at my location.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But
We
this is
got it
still
right
nice.
here,
though.
buddy.
nice.
Hey.
I had
Love
Oh, you
it.
got that one?
Ah, that's cool.
Got it right here, bro. This thing's high
I
quality.
see Baby
dude.
Pool right behind you too. You got a Baby
I'm
Pool.
gonna get Baby Pool in a second, but this thing's high quality. The mouth moves, the mask is a
That's
different
really
material. It has a
They put up
stand,
some good ones. I'll give them that.
propeller
Yeah,
hat.
their merchandise was really good for the movie.
Like, this is
Max,
solid.
you sent me a picture of that bucket before I went to see Deadpool and Wolverine, and I didn't know that that character was in the movie.
Oh, I mean, it's not really a spoiler, dude.
Good
It's like,
for him.
Yeah, no, it's just a skull floating around. But I mean, like, I didn't know it was part of the movie, and then I saw it. I was like, oh shit.
we got that. We got one of the cups, which is cool because it's a 3D cup. If you guys can see the effect.
Oh yeah, that's
Cups are
nice.
nice.
I got a
Ooh.
Godzilla cup, but I did not get this one.
Ooh, do you have the Godzilla cup with you?
It is currently across in the dirty dishes, so I probably should not pull it. But I do have I'll get the top, the little Godzilla topper. I just used it when I went to the pool.
There you go. Pull it out real quick. Pull out the top.
Nice.
I have to go get the little head. Let me go grab it.
All right, you do that. I have 2 toppers from Deadpool, which I'll wait for Ericka to get back to show it. I'll pull out the Baby Pool real quick, though. But the toppers are also genius. This, though,
Was also the
Is
85
absolutely
ounce
fucking
popcorn
sick.
tin that I got.
and we'll
They
get to
also
this in
had
a
a-
second, too.
130 ounce one too, but I got the smaller version. Still nice.
I ended up picking this up at GalaxyCon, actually, but we got the Wolverine pop figure. I got this for Kate. Just a little
Very
surprise.
nice.
She doesn't know about this yet, but I picked this up for her for her office. Big
Nice.
Wolverine fan. I don't clip pops anymore, so this is a thing for her. Her and I do also have matching keychains of the friendship bracelets, which is cool.
Oh, that's
love
sick.
that.
That's sick.
Sick.
Ooh,
Does
those
she
are
have
nice.
the Wolverine one?
Yeah, she got the Wolverine one. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see. Is that the?
Oh, I have a keychain. I just forgot about that. My dad won it at Dave & Buster's, and he gave it to me. It's the keychain version of that.
This is a
right.
keychain,
Yeah,
yeah.
they did have that.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah,
Made by
very good.
my Godzilla topper though from when this one came out, the pink.
Ah.
And then this is my buddy that always goes with me to all the premieres.
Love it. Love it.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. We do have the Deadpool Wolverine toppers. These are sick. Very meta. I'm chilling.
Those are sick.
I
The
love
troll,
that.
in the
Are
chat
those
is
just like
amazing.
figures?
They go on top of your cups and shit, yeah.
Oh, not like on the.
I
oh,
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
that's
yeah.
awesome. That's so sick.
Nice.
That's just a nice collector item,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
even without the topper.
Yeah.
Any movie paraphernalia that has the character sitting in movie theater seats is just
Exactly.
I don't know
the
what it is
Garfield
about it,
ones
but-
too, really sick.
yeah.
But we do have the baby pool. This is
That's another good
Nice.
one too.
this is a popcorn holder. If it fucking open, there we go, and a cup, kind of like the R2 from
Yeah.
Rise of
Oh,
Skywalker.
drink
Top
and
is
cup.
so
Nice.
I love it.
That's so sick.
Yeah. So I don't know who's actually sitting here drinking out of this
Yeah.
shit, but oh,
I
that
think
kind of
that's
tasted.
the second. I think
tastes
that's
like-
the second coolest one they did.
This tastes like gasoline, bro. What's my mouth on that? I'm never using this. That was
drinking it.
awful.
Might want to run that through the dishwasher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christ. That was
Wash it out a
terrible.
little bit.
Let's go ahead and take a look at comments again before we start diving back into Deadpool and Wolverine. I would choose. Oh, this is Jose Lopez, aka Tone Dog. I would choose to be first. I would choose the first Deadpool because I feel like it pulled off his acting a bit more, and pulled out the most. In effect, you get the feeling as if he was meant to be Deadpool. I agree with that, dude. Harold. Oh, this is a hot take. I've never had anyone say this before. Gamer Harold says, I think Max should play Spider-Man in the next movie. Okay. Thank you. I've never
Ever thought about that?
Max, this is your time.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
let me be Harry
This is a
Osborn.
sign, Max.
Yeah? Is it?
Yeah.
Take it and run with it.
Should I just fucking...
What's the
Do
quote?
it.
What's the quote that Ryan Reynolds said about the movie? Don't give up, persevere. Whatever you said earlier.
Even if the
Push
first
Tom
one sucks, do
out
it
of the
again.
way. Literally
Yeah.
shove him.
I've already met
Something
Sam
like that.
Raimi,
Oh.
so I guess I can pull it off. You know what I'm saying?
You already met him.
Yeah. Then Gustavo Martinez, that movie was great. Loki, think Marvel can't top that. I agree.
Loki
But-
season 2.
Shut up, dude. Fuck Loki season 2. Yeah. Still not a fan of it, dude. Still not a fan.
Ah, that
But
hurts.
did you
'cause
see it?
I was.
Loki, we did an LFG on this, I think, way back when, Brandon, but like Loki season 1 for me, I was started my downfall for Marvel. Like, I think it was episode 3 or 4, felt very Doctor Who-y. And I love Doctor Who. And I was all in at that point. And then it was the episode where like with the purple colors and the city like falling down on them for the cliffhanger. I loved it. It just felt like an adventure. And everything else just kind of fell apart for me after that. I had zero interest in season 2.
Loki show was one of the brighter spots to me during that time. That and
Yeah.
What about WandaVision?
Love
You watch
WandaVision. I got
WandaVision up
Yeah.
until the final episode.
I got the hot toys
Agreed.
for
Agreed.
Wanda
That's
right over there.
That's how that's exactly how I felt about fucking when Secret Invasion was coming out. I was like, you know what, this isn't bad.
Oh,
And then the
thank God I
finale
dodged
came
that.
out. And then the finale came out, and I was like, pretty bad.
I didn't watch.
But Ren, I was so pissed about that one because what was even going on? I hate how they only give these series like 6 episodes. You're watching on
That was
episode
bad.
4 or 5, and there's still so much that could happen. They're still building it up, and then they just
And
crash
then they
it on
hit
the
you
last
with that.
episode.
Damn. I didn't
Yeah,
watch
6
it.
episodes
And
is
it was so
not a
bad.
good structure.
And once they
Not
kill
good.
off what's her face, like what is
Maria
that about?
Hill.
Why? Why would you do that? I still don't get that part. Like why we killed her off and then in the way that we did, and then that's just it. Like unless we get a variant, like cop out, in my opinion, to do something.
Would we
like
need
that,
a
but-
Maria Hill variant?
I don't think so, but I think she was a liked character. Unless I'm missing something, I don't understand why we did it in that way. I'm still sick about that.
I love
Yeah.
Chloe Smothers. I loved her in
No, she's great.
what you call it?
How I
She's
Met
great.
Your Mother is
She
a
was a
great show.
consistent character. I loved her, and then I'm like, okay, cool. And a show, and to me, it was more so about a show that people were already struggling to even watch, and that's how we did it to her. Like, I mean, if it happened in a movie and it was just like in passing
Like
to
in
get her
a
out
more
of the,
important installment.
yeah. To
Yeah.
make it bigger, or even just to do it on the big screen, because she was such a significant part of that movie and other movies. I didn't understand why we did it in a show on Disney Plus that people were barely even watching. So
Probably for shock value because they didn't know what else to do.
what else are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and dive into Deadpool and Wolverine. This film holds no punches back.
Man.
We open. This is spoiler alert for everyone if you're not familiar with Galaxy Film and haven't listened to this for whatever reason. Obviously, we do spoilers here. But yeah, we open up. We're automatically just diving into Logan's grave from Logan, of course. And the TVA pops up. Boom, shit hits the fan. Bye-bye. You know, we got some innocent going on here. And TVA steps up. Get a little revert flashback kind of thing going on, too. And Wade's given up on being Deadpool. He's trying to live a normal life. He's trying to live his Peter life. He hopped into a different universe. You know, Vanessa left him. He hopped over, tried to join the Avengers. That wasn't happening. Happy Hogan said, no, G, that's not doing it over here for you. And he kind of just accepted defeat and gave up the title of Deadpool. And TVA shows up. At this point, he's given an offer from Paradox, who's like the leader of this like cell of the TVA. And he's like, you know what? Your universe is dying. Your anchor point, your person is missing in this universe. And without him, your universe will cease to exist. So we're giving you the opportunity to hop over in the MCU, and it's quite literally the MCU at this point. And so the TVA hooks Deadpool up with a brand new suit, a definitive suit, nice guns, all that jazz. And once Deadpool realizes that, hey, he's not going to be able to go back and get the people he wants to this new universe, he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go bring Wolverine back to life. So he attempts to, we go back to our beginning scene, back to Wolverine's grave, trying to bring him back to life. He gets attacked by the TVA. He's using his skeleton to defeat the TVA, and it's absolutely fucking hilarious. Once he brings the corpse of Logan back, he then takes a TVA device and goes to other universes to this hilarious montage of finding the right Hugh Jackman. So we're getting all these different comic appearances. We're getting Wolverine versus Hulk briefly, which is cool. We're getting Wolverine crucified, which is awesome. We're getting tiny little Hugh Jackman as well. And
Accurate comic.
We're
Comic
getting
accurate.
Accurate.
we're getting a beautiful cameo of Henry Cavill as Wolverine, since obviously
I didn't realize it was Henry Cavill at first
beautiful.
when I saw it
Lost my
until like
mind.
it got
We're
real
gonna
close.
treat you so much better than those fuck nuts down the street.
Sweet.
Just
I think there was
incredible.
a gasp in the audience when it happened.
Yeah, there was, dude.
It's Henry Cavill. Oh,
So
Fucking Superman.
we get back to this universe. We find out that we get to this new universe, and we grab Wolverine from a bar. And this is the worst Wolverine of all of history, of all of the timelines. Brings him back to the TVA, and the TVA kind of prune him. They go into the void, which we see in Loki as well. Loki episode 5, or whatever the hell the line is. During this, we have Cassandra Nova, who's kind of running the void at this point. And we bump into, after a nice fight between Wolverine and Deadpool, we bump into a little familiar voice, which turns into a familiar face. And we get Chris Evans as the Human Torch, and one of the
Human
most
Torch.
exciting flame-ons I've ever heard in my life. I got out of my seat and I screamed hearing that.
That
I
was
wanted that
so
moment
great.
for so long.
I was so excited for that.
It was
As
so
soon
damn
as he
good.
took his hood off, I was like, Human Torch!
Yeah, it was so great, dude. And so, at this point, they're they're captured by Nova's people after Sabretooth shows up and Wolverine decapitates his ass at this point, which is pretty awesome. They're taking to Nova. Nova's like, yo, I am Professor X's sister. I'm here to ruin your day. And they go ahead and they barely escape. They get out and they got to go on a little bit of a road trip. They're fighting. They're tussling back and forth. They bump into Nice Pool, which is just Ryan Reynolds without a fucked up face. We see Dogpool, which is pretty awesome. Our Deadpool falls in love with Dogpool, of course. Once they get away and on this road trip, they kind of go ahead and have another little tiffy, Get a little overnight fight between Wolverine and Deadpool. Wolverine ditches the sleeves because we got to go ahead and make everyone thirst over Hugh Jackman more. And then later on that evening, once they're knocked out, they are then captured by a mysterious figure, kind of Obi-Wan Kenobi in the desert style. Once they wake up with that, it's like, oh shit, who do we have here? And bro, would you just fucking realize who walks through the door? We got Jennifer Garner as Elektra coming back. We got Wesley Snipes as Blade. We got Channing Tatum as Gambit.
So
As the Gambit.
excited.
Can we
Yeah.
skip him around for Channing Tatum?
No.
Oh my!
I'm so glad he finally got to be Gambit.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I love the joke where he was like, "I think I was born here. I don't know," because he never got to actually play him.
Who's your dialect coach?
Yeah, right.
The Minions.
Oh, that was a great line too.
God.
Yeah,
Love the
love that
figure,
line.
by the way, Ericka. That was the sixth setup.
Really?
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then, of course, the last member of this little team is Laura from Logan too. So we get a little tidbit of Wolverine trying to decide if he wants to join them or not. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not that guy. Laura's like, that was the point. You were never that guy at the time. Then he hops in the car. We go ahead and front Nova the next day. We see some serious ass kicking between everyone, just killing this shit. And then during this, we kind of dive into the mind of Logan for a bit. It's revealed that, hey, he wore this suit because the X-Men all died, and this is what they wanted, yada, yada, yada. After they get ready to defeat Nova by taking the helmet of Juggernaut off and putting it on her, she then gives up a Sorcerer Ring from a Doctor Strange variant, and she sends them back to their universe to go ahead and defeat or destroy this device that Paradox has set up. However, she comes wandering into, she's getting ready to wreak some more havoc, and at this point, she kind of overpowers Paradox. And she goes ahead, she hooks herself up to the machine, getting ready to destroy all of humanity and everything. And Wolverine puts on the mask, one of the most satisfying scenes we've gotten in the entirety of comic book history. And we just get this brutal fight between Deadpool, Wolverine, and just a whole army of Deadpool variants featuring Lady Pool, Head Pool, Kid Pool, Baby Pool, Cowboy Pool, the whole fucking 9 yards.
Samurai Deadpool.
Yeah, it's just great, dude.
Cowboy pool.
They all get defeated, of course. They all come back. They're going to town on him. And at this point, Deadpool and Wolverine go down the little tunnel. And they're like, all right, it's time to sacrifice ourselves, or we're all going to die this time. Wolverine gets ready to sacrifice himself, but Deadpool pulls the trigger last minute. He gets in the room instead. And he goes ahead and he sacrifices himself. In the midst of sacrificing himself and being just a tad bit too far away to go ahead and do so successfully, Wolverine comes in, saves the day. The two are sacrificing themselves together as one. And everyone just thirsts even more because Wolverine's shirt just has to go ahead and rip off instead. The entire audience screamed, which was a little bit ridiculous, but here we're here for regardless. And of course...
Take back that comment.
For yourself.
I'm saying it's a little ridiculous because I also screamed, okay? Calm down.
Hey, there we go. There, that's better. Better.
Valid.
So there we go. They're sacrificing themselves. They think they die. Nova's like, oh shit, everything just blew up. Paradox is trying to get away with it because we get a little bit of a cameo from our homegirl from Loki. Peter Pool's here and is getting ready to save the day for a second too. Then it's revealed Deadpool and Wolverine have indeed survived, except Wolverine just chilling shirtless with the mask on still, which is pretty funny. Nova's sent away, Paradox is sent away, and yeah, at the very end of this, they get Shormas because the Avengers found Shormas. And Logan's getting ready to go fuck off at this point because he can't go back to his universe and save the X-Men. But then Deadpool's like, you know what, Logan? Come over here. I got a home for you. And we get a nice dinner sequence between Laura, Logan, Deadpool, and his entire family. He gets his girl back, and they all kind of live happily ever after in the Fox universe, I may say, too. They really didn't join the MCU after all, which, in an odd way, I think is even more beautiful. And puts a closing and nice bow on this entire trilogy. And we'll kind of dive into this too in a second, but I really don't know or think if we'll see Deadpool again, to be real with you. I definitely think this could very well be it. I don't know where we'll go further. I don't know if I want to go further with this. This is Deadpool Wolverine is as beautiful as an ending to Deadpool as Logan is to Wolverine, in my opinion. And I definitely think it could be left alone. So, opening night, we're all shitting our pants over what just happened. Brandon, what are your thoughts on Deadpool Wolverine from the gist of it? What do you think's happening next, too? Will there be a next? Where are you at?
Okay, so first, I want to highlight the soundtrack to this movie, and it might be recency bias because it just came out like last week, but I think this is the best soundtrack out of all the Deadpool movies. And of course, I can't stop getting "Bye Bye Bye" out of my head with that opening sequence. It is just so, it's perfect. The music, the action, and that whole sequence was just near perfect. I wouldn't change a single thing about it. But as far as the overall movie, I mean, you could tell just off screen, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are like the bestest of friends. So their chemistry in this movie was just dynamic as like predicted. But I mean, still like they work just so well together, as well as like their bickering of each other. I think it was just really, really fun, and it really carried the whole movie throughout its entirety. Really, all the action was super fun. We get multiple Deadpool Wolverine fights, which was a blast to see. Especially that car fight, which was just fantastic. Also some where was I going back? Anyway, going to the cameos with Wesley Snipes, Jennifer Garner. Like Matt said, it was just really cool to finally see Channing Tatum as Gambit. I thought that was just a beautiful way to like capitalize it and finally give him his moment. And their eventual fight scene when they show up at Nova's hideout. It was just a great showcase of everybody, especially Gambit. Too. Yeah, I think this whole movie is just a beautiful send off to the Fox Marvel universe in a way. Just with its cameos, which add to the story of Deadpool and Wolverine. So I didn't think they were just like cheap cameos just for the sake of having them. I thought it carried out throughout the whole story that way. And yeah, I just can't gush over like the music in this. It just fit perfectly. We get a little Power of Love in there. We get some Avril Lavigne too. A nice little nod to The Greatest Showman. I'm a little like movie musical nerd, so just hearing that in the car fight was really nice. And also shout out to Green Day in the end credits. Green Day is my favorite band of all time, so it was nice, kind of like actually like seeing that in a Marvel movie. It was just like, just perfect for me.
They used that song pretty perfectly too.
They did, yeah, and I mean, it's a common song for like stuff like that, so it was just it just fit like a bow pretty much at that point. Also got to shout out, I mean, the Chris Evans cameo. I was not expecting that at all. I was actually pleasantly surprised on how many cameos like weren't spoiled for me. Like it just added to the experience that much better. But yeah, just that reveal of him of being the Human Torch and just that whole scene is like I don't know this guy, or like we don't know who that guy is. It was hilarious, and I think the comedy in this worked pretty well for the most part. In this, I think a lot of the jokes landed, and like I said, I actually liked Cassandra Nova in this a little bit too. I thought again it was another solid villain. Nothing like up to like Thanos level or anything, but it was just a nice solid enemy to combat against Deadpool and Wolverine. I will say that by the third act, it gets a little too much for me as far as the cameos with Deadpool. If I'm gonna be honest with myself, I did like Lady Pool. Shout out to Blake Lively, by the way. That was a nice cameo. Quick question: who thought it was gonna be Taylor Swift as Lady Pool? Be
I
honest.
was hoping it wasn't.
Okay.
I knew it wasn't gonna be.
I figured it was.
Lively.
It was either gonna be Blake Lively or like because like the rumors
Or
were like
Ryan.
so heavy about Taylor Swift, or
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds in a wig.
I
Honestly thought it would
The
be
Taylor
that.
Swift theory.
It really, yeah. It was either gonna be Blake or was gonna be Taylor. It was one of those
I
two.
didn't think
but-
about
Actually-
that. It was always Blake in my mind.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And actually, both of his kids are in it too.
yeah, baby pulling kid.
Yeah,
Kid
Kid Pool,
Oh, really?
Kid
Baby
Pool
Pool.
and Baby Pool are played by Ryan Reynolds' kids.
Oh, you know what else I?
my God.
You know what else I learned too? Tom Holland's brother is also a Deadpool.
Is
as,
he?
like a stunt double? Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, that's
Ryan
cool.
Reynolds didn't even know that until the movie came out,
Oh, that's funny.
which is I think it's funny. But yeah, I will say like by the third act when all the Deadpool variants come out of the portal, I did think it was getting a little too much, and I think the story wasn't as strong as those first two acts. But that probably because like I had to go to the bathroom pretty bad, and I was just like, like I just wanted the movie to end at that point. Which I loved the post credit scene too, by the way, of just like Deadpool
Yeah.
proving he was right the entire time.
That,
that was
that took
that was
me
a-
out. That was
that was a
amazing.
That's
funny-
one of my favorite things with Chris Evans in it is just that scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy though. I didn't think they were. I thought they were just gonna leave that part alone, and I was a little sad about it. But I didn't think much. But when they brought out the post credit, I was like, yes.
That's such a Deadpool
Yeah,
move too.
that's such a Deadpool move.
Oh, it was
And
so
that
good.
And like that's some shit that you'd expect Johnny Storm to say too, because I mean,
It was just so absurd. You're just like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like- that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Jeff's
Yeah, I think I was like I said, I think the first two acts are just really, really strong, and then it gets a little too much by the third act, but it doesn't take me out of it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did like the stuff they like the sentimental stuff they did too. I think I liked how they weaved that in a little bit with Wolverine especially, which I think Hugh Jackman steals the show the entire time, I think, over Deadpool, which is crazy that like because it's Deadpool and Wolverine, but yeah, I think like Hugh Jackman was just like ready to play Wolverine again, and it shows through his performance throughout the whole thing. But yeah, overall, I think it's just a lovely send off to the Fox Marvel universe in a way. I think I would be a little bit disappointed if we don't see Deadpool again. Not so much Wolverine, because I think it's a nice send off for Wolverine, but I think we still got a little bit of life left with Deadpool, in my opinion. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I'd be happy to rewatch it again soon too.
Okay. For me, dude, Deadpool Wolverine was an interesting experience because I didn't have all the nostalgia there for all the X-Men stuff for Fox.
Sure.
Only watching the first trilogy, Logan and the Deadpool films. I'm very glad I made the decision to watch Logan beforehand, 100%. Or else
Yeah,
this
me
would
too.
have been a
Me
little
too.
awkward.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I felt, despite not being there for everything, I felt proud as
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Like this movie is a massive love letter to a series that is not forgotten, but has been over for quite some time now. Because while despite, New Mutants being the last real entry in this besides now Deadpool and Wolverine, that movie went through production hell and was supposed to come out, like 2016? Like, it was supposed to come
Yeah.
out before Deadpool, if I'm not mistaken. Like, the Jonathan from Stranger Things shot that, like, after the first season of Stranger Things. And it came out well after season 3 had dropped, kind of thing. You know? Yeah, it's crazy the kind of hell that movie went through. And so, like I said, this series has been done for plenty of years. With Dark Phoenix really being the last true, like, entry, in my opinion. And so for this movie to be such a beautiful love letter and a proper send-off for something like that is beautiful. Like, this movie to me is the equivalent of season 7 of the Clone Wars. Like, the series been done and canceled. We get one last hurrah at it, and they finish it not only right, but they go out with a massive bang on top of it. I loved the cameos. I felt like out of all of the weird multiverse movies we've gotten in the last, this entire past 2 phases, this is the best one in my opinion. And not just because we're just seeing random cameos and shit, but like for the sake of it being a multiverse film, my biggest gripe with Multiverse of Madness, despite me liking the horror aspects of it, was like, you know what? I'm seeing 2 multiverses. Not a lot is going on in that, respectfully. Like a montage that's kind of ugly looking and half-baked. What is that doing for me compared to what we're doing in this film with some plot context and elements being sprinkled in throughout as well? I like Spider-Man No Way Home. Even on rewatching it, I do like it. I think it's a terrible 3rd Spider-Man movie. It should have been the 4th one. We throw away that Peter Parker reveal to the public out the window in the first 10 minutes, for multiverse stuff. And if that movie would have been a 4th film in that series, and we have taken time out for an entire movie or show or whatever to flesh out and to really marinate in the whole fact that Peter's had his identity revealed, I think the 4th one would have been even better and having all the other Spider-Man involved. So in my opinion, as far as the MCU is concerned, this is the best multiverse entry. This one uses it well, and I'm surprised for it because it's Deadpool. It's silly. It's quirky. Like, yeah, it's fun. It's well written, sure, but like these movies are like, at the end of the day, we're getting 20 dick jokes. You know what I'm saying? And for a movie to be this smart is impressive to me. Like, the fact that we're doing a time-traveling, universe-hopping, like, montage, and we're getting the power of love, it was incredible. I was, grinning from ear to ear at that point. You mentioned soundtrack's incredible throughout this. It put Instinct back on the map, in my opinion, just from that intro alone.
Did you see what they did for Bye Bye Bye?
Yeah, they renamed it on YouTube, the upload.
Yeah, that's funny.
It is the music video. Like, he did the music video.
Yeah, he did the same choreography.
It was
fantastic.
That was
fantastic.
Definitely. I feel like he did that for Blake.
Oh yeah.
I feel like half of the stuff in the movie was for Blake.
But not only that, but like even down to when we're seeing the cameos, like. Yeah, like as I'm going through, I'm like, oh man, I would have loved to have seen Ben Affleck as Daredevil. We got Henry Cavill on this. Would have been cool. I'm like, no, like. I mean, even rewatching Daredevil recently, like, Jennifer Garner was more dedicated to the role of Elektra. She did a spin-off afterwards. Yeah. It makes sense for her to have this role over Ben Affleck, and then to have the funny-ass line of, oh, he's dead, after their divorce is even better.
Yeah.
It's no secret. We've all talked on the podcast about all the issues of the new Blade coming out from Mahershala Ali. So to see Wesley Snipes finally get that 4th entry, it is so rewarding.
One Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like,
there will never be another Blade movie.
It's not only
rate, there won't.
it's not only a great
never gonna happen at
commentary.
this point.
Wesley Snipes has got a point.
Yeah, it's not only a great commentary on the current state of things going
let
on.
him say that because it keeps getting pushed. No directors, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm actually surprised with how much they got away with the writing for like the MCU.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
and like when he says there's only ever gonna be one Blade, when Deadpool looks at the camera right after that, he means one of 2 things. One of just like, oh, it's a joke because he doesn't know that the new one's coming, or the fact that the new one isn't coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a perfect
So that joke works on
commentary
2 levels.
on everything going on in the MCU, but on top of that, it's perfect because we're getting these people who have given dedication to these roles before MCU the chance to thrive again.
Even
Everyone
Channing Tatum,
knows.
who never even got a movie for a damn bit.
Everyone knows he was blue-balled for like 10 years on the role Gambit.
Yeah,
He gets
it
his
was a
chance to
long
shine
time
in
in
He
production.
took a
hell for such
picture with
long
the rest
time.
of the X-Men cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, you're right.
And with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
The newer one.
Oh yeah, when Michael
They
B.
all got
Jordan.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They all got together and took a picture. They were like, this is our
deserved it.
universe.
My
I think it was
only
supposed to happen in like
that thing.
2020 and it got scrapped.
But you know what? This
This
That's all we need.
movie
This
is
was the best outcome.
it's respectful
It was
and smart
amazing.
in all the
Yeah.
right ways. My only complaint is I love Chris Evans in this. I'm glad we got to see the Human Torch again. I really wish we would have seen Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch again too, just for the hell of it, just for the absolute hell of it. We're
Hey,
seeing
could have made a Killmonger joke.
we're not even a Killmonger joke, but like we're seeing the Fan Four stick in the credits. You know what I'm saying? Like we get their honor too, which I'm very happy was included as well. Like it's not just the X-Men stuff being acknowledged. We're acknowledging Daredevil. We're acknowledging the
Fox
Blade.
stuff.
Yeah, all the
other
Fox
stuff.
movies.
It's all acknowledged. So why not go ahead and go that extra mile and include the second Human Torch just for a second? You know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
he just
The
wasn't
only
available.
cameo
Yeah.
that would have been crazy for me, and I know it's probably never gonna happen. What if we got Nick Cage as Ghost Rider
I
as
was
a
going to
cameo?
say that would have been
Yes,
that would have been
That would've
incredible
been
as well.
awesome.
that would have been awesome.
I think
think-
Long Leg maybe coincided, but what if we got that?
Yeah.
I think one person that didn't show up that I think they really wanted to was I think they wanted to do a Punisher, and I
We got
think they
the
wanted. I think they
eruption.
wanted to do Ray Stevens Punisher, but I think he's like dead.
I can see
So-
that, and especially because I know recently that was just revealed that Thomas Jane was helping out on the new Daredevil show, training John Bernthal to get back into it. So maybe it could have been Ray Stevenson, right? But regardless, though, like I was so caught off guard on how smart this movie is and how respectful it is, and I've tried for the last week not to give this like a premature rating and looking like sitting and marinating with it, and it just makes me like it more and more. It truly does. Like this, in my opinion, is one of the best MCU movies, not just in terms of I get to see heroes that have been long forgotten again, not just in terms of it being funny, but like this movie has heart in all the right places, you know, and I'm here for it. If this is the last time we see Deadpool, I'm satisfied, and I fully mean that. This was a damn good movie, and I've said this again a couple times recently, like, and we towards like the latter half of summer, this always kind of comes to this point. We're like, oh, this movie's my favorite of the year. This movie's my favorite of the year. We keep going and changing our list like that. This movie may be my favorite of the year so far, and I
Definitely.
have not said that about an MCU movie in a very long time. I'm very thrilled with this one. Yeah, and to go ahead and make it quick and simple with you, I don't have any regrets of this, other than that wishing we got a little bit more of, you know, a cameo from the other Phantom Force stick. But you know what? Even without that, I'm very satisfied. As someone who even hasn't seen all the Wolverine stuff out there. And as someone, I imagine, Ericka, you have much deeper appreciation for everything going on. I imagine when you saw
I have
that...
notes.
Yeah, exactly. And I imagine when you saw that Cal came on for the first time, I imagine you screamed like at the top of your lungs. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
I'm
did.
so glad I got the audience I did because my first watch, they appreciated it more than the second watch. I got the best audience the first time.
yeah.
My audience sucked. No one cheered for shit.
What?
Yeah, no, it was literally just me. Like, I got there late, so I was in like the very front row looking up at the screen like this, and it was literally just me going, yeah, yeah, and then no one else.
I say mine
They
was
sucked.
decent. It was hit or miss on the
God.
surprises for me.
Like people would laugh at the jokes, but no one cheered for any of the characters.
Yeah.
Not even Chris Evans. Chris Evans didn't even get a cheer.
Our movie theater was like, okay, so it was me, my husband, it was Max and Kate, and then our other friend who's also a couple. And it was
Caleb
like
and Drake.
basically
Everyone's
like,
familiar with Caleb and Drake. They've been on the podcast. Yeah.
Oh
Are they
yeah,
been on the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, Caleb and Drake, awesome. And the whole we saw it in what IMAX?
And IMAX.
Oh
yeah.
my god, the whole theater was we were all like, yeah. I mean, it was we were on our seats. We're like lift. It was amazing. It was truly one of the best movie experiences with an audience I've ever seen.
I wish I was in that theater because my
Yeah.
audience sucked.
Yeah, mine could
Yeah.
have been better too.
Yeah.
But to cut it
I'm like,
short,
y'all aren't real fans.
but to cut it short, I don't have any other solid gripes of this one. I truly love Deadpool Wolverine. Ericka, you have notes prepped for this one. I'm so curious to hear your thoughts as a long-term, lifelong fan of this franchise. Where are you at with this?
This was an absolute fan service of a movie, and normally I'm against that, but I guess I'm just biased 'cause tailored towards me. Going into this, I am a big Hugh Jackman as a general fan. I went to see The Music Man in New York.
Oh,
nice.
I saw him.
Nice.
You saw him on
It was-
stage?
Yes, second row. I
Shit.
went for my birthday in 2022. He was there, and I went in September. I saw the evening showing of it. I was second row, went by myself, and fantastic. Beautiful. Hugh Jackman was right here, practically spitting on the first three rows because they project. I'm already bought in. So I tried to go into this as unbiased as possible because of that. Because I am such, a Hugh Jackman fan and of course, a Wolverine fan. You can't go wrong with Wolverine. So
Ericka, you lucky girl. You lucky girl.
yes, I forever changed. Forever changed.
Beautiful.
So it was hard to not love this movie, but I will be completely honest, especially after giving it a second watch last night. I already made the joke about, Nick Cage, but as a movie in itself, from start to end, I was very nervous about how they were going to do Logan, do Wolverine in general. I knew we were getting the blue and yellow suit, which meant so much to me to finally see that and see him in a costume and to get those jokes throughout where they're talking about how he, was embarrassed to be in a comic book movie and never actually wore any of the suits. So little bits and pieces of those things like that, bringing comic book and video game, Wolverine to life. If you ever played any of the X-Men games or Marvel vs. Capcom or any of those, there was even the fighting scene with the Deadpool, with the corpse where they're walking through. It kind of reminded me of a video game. So overall, the emotions are running high. I think cameos, I was worried that it was going to be overdone, like mentioned. I agree with the Deadpool portion, but I'll go into the cameos that did happen. Seeing Blade. I don't know how they kept that under
Blade.
wraps. I know he
Oh my
tweeted about
god,
it.
yes.
Biggest
He
surprise
tweeted about
in
it
the
the
whole
same
movie.
day. How did they keep that? Like, I zero expectation of that, but you can't do Marvel justice without appreciating Blade. Showing my old age, I grew up watching Blade. My mother loved Blade because she loved vampire movies. I had no idea when I was a kid that that was a Marvel movie. I didn't know that. It wasn't until later in life that I was like, oh, I've been watching Marvel. So being somebody who's been watching X-Men and, Blade since I was a kid and also Fantastic Four and all of those movies, this was a beautifully done fan service movie. We got the best of Ryan Reynolds, and I think we got the best of Hugh as Wolverine. He has been playing Wolverine since I was 6 years old. I just rewatched X-Men from 2000 just the other day, and it was as if he is, just started doing this, but as if he's been doing this his whole life, which he practically has. I loved that the car scene. To me, I was worried that Deadpool was going to be too much or that they were going to Deadpool Wolverine. And what I mean by that is make Wolverine more, jokey, corny, more of the dick jokes and the baby jokes and all of that. But I think the contrast of Wolverine's hardness and also the character building that Wolverine has done, the whole universe and X-Men on its own, it sucks that X-Men was never as cohesive as, the MCU was, but the appreciation that they showed to those movies, we wouldn't have gotten the Marvel that we had without movies like Blade, without movies like Daredevil and any of those original movies. We would not have this universe that we have now. We might be in a DC situation where there's no cohesiveness. So, talking about this movie, I think it did more than just do the trilogy justice from Deadpool. I think it did the entire Marvel, cinematic universe justice. And I think they did I think they did a really good job also tying in a lot of the important things from the sideshows. I know audiences struggled really hard to keep up with those shows. I didn't watch all of them, but I watched most of them. Secret Invasion, Loki, and I personally loved Loki for the fact of it was the best out of all of them that they put out after Endgame, and I'm glad that the TVA got involved then. I think the timing of everything just ended up working out, and we had to go through those hardships after Endgame of less than savory movies to get to where we are, and to see Ryan Reynolds really put his entire heart and soul into this movie, it came out and portrayed it in such a way that this movie is generational in itself. I think people that weren't Fox fans, and X-Men fans alike with, us that were appreciating the movie for a variety of reasons. The opening scene, it didn't, some people might think that was disrespectful to Logan, but I think that was the point, that you can't go back and change what happened. We're not gonna get that Logan back, and I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we got the worst Logan, because the worst Logan is what shows, Wolverine as a character. that he's hardened, he's experienced so much death and destruction, he's outlived everybody he's ever loved. And then here he is coming from a universe where he completely screwed everything up. It kind of contrasts with Logan in that no mutants were being born in that universe and the ending of that. I think it just, again, put a little bow on everything. The name drops, the Hugh Jackman name drops. I think that goes back to, I think it was Deadpool 2 when he signed the comic Ryan Reynolds. And I think the kid in there is from Legion, I believe, in that scene. So just name dropping, fourth wall breaks, outstanding. At some points, maybe a little much, but I think it was worth it for him to like approach the camera when he says, you know, like, suck it, Fox, and all of that. But I could keep going because, man, there were so many points in watching it the second time. I kept pulling out my phone and like jotting things down of, wow, I didn't catch that the first time. I think that scene towards the end when Wolverine is about to sacrifice, you know, for Deadpool, when they do the switch, when Ryan Reynolds or Deadpool is like, I've been waiting for this team up for a long time. It's that right there got me last night. It didn't get me the first time. I agreed. I'm like, yes, but to watch it last night, it was like a fourth wall break without intending to. That was Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds and being like, dude, I waited for this. Like, talking to Hugh. And that got to me last night. And I think that was just, again, just a reminder that all that hard work of the first one and the second one's opinion aside, this is fantastic.
Beautifully put. I love it, dude. God.
My last thing was the whole, will we see Deadpool again? I think we will. Mainly for two reasons. And maybe I'm just, you know, grabbing at straws here. But the Thor part, he's like, why is Thor crying over him? Secret Wars, maybe they swapped him out with Loki in that scene, so who knows, maybe they're leaving it open. I don't think they'd mention it as many times, you know, when he's waking up like Thor, you know, God of Thunder, when he's waking up thinking about him, that's for nothing. I'm maybe just reaching with the whole Spider-Man thing. Maybe the whole everybody has a Peter or needs a Peter. I'm like, maybe that leads into a Peter Parker. I don't know. We can dream. We can dream. And they mentioned Spider-Man at some point, so I'm hopefully thinking they leave it open, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the last time we got Deadpool a good send-off.
Yeah. Beautifully put. God, man. I love everyone's thoughts on this one specifically. Like, this is such a unique movie for a movie that's kind of like a hodgepodge of everything else, down to like the fight sequences, the characters, some of the, you know, plot beats going on further too. And just it's a sense of like everything we're familiar with and love kind of thrown into a magic like pot, and we're just making a Ryan Reynolds stew, if you will, of everything. You know, that where are you at and where are your feelings with Deadpool Wolverine as well?
Oh, dude, this is definitely my favorite of the Deadpool movies now. I've always grown up being like, ever since I was a kid, Spider-Man was always my number one. But Wolverine is my second favorite Marvel character of all time. And, like, you know, I would watch some of the X-Men movies here and there from time to time. It wasn't until I got a bit older to where I watched all of them and gained a deeper appreciation for them. But I always fucked with Wolverine. And just seeing him and Ryan Reynolds come together and, like, the real life mirroring what that means to them as actors and friends. Because, like, you can really tell that, like, in Ryan Reynolds' performance, he was like, I've been waiting. Like we said earlier, like, when he was like, I've been waiting for this team up for a long time. He has. And, like, he fought tooth and nail against Disney to make this movie exactly what he wanted it to be. And I respect the fuck out of Ryan Reynolds for that, because they tried to shoehorn in She-Hulk and Captain Marvel at one point. That wouldn't have been... No one would have fucked with that. So he kept fighting and pushing because he knew what he had in his brain was good. And like Hugh Jackman was just, it was amazing seeing him come back and finally don the suit. That was something I've been waiting for a long time. Like, for the past, I don't know, 25 years, he's been playing Logan, but in this movie, he's fucking Wolverine.
Yeah,
that's fucking Wolverine. And like when he pulls the cowl up over his face for the first time, I think I quoted Deadpool. I think I looked over to whoever was sitting next to me and I said, "I'm soaking wet right now." Yeah, I'm not allowed back at that theater.
For good reason.
But yeah, no. But I was some of the cameos I did expect. I figured because of Free Guy. And because of who all is in that movie, because that's another Sean Levy movie starring Ryan Reynolds, I figured we were getting Channing Tatum as Gambit, and I figured we were getting Chris Evans, and I figured if he was going to be either or, it was going to be Human Torch.
Yeah.
So, like, as soon as Chris Evans took his hood off, I was like, that's Human Torch, isn't it? But the biggest surprise in the whole movie to me was Wesley Snipes' Blade coming back. I did not expect that whatsoever. When he walked in with the sunglasses on, I was like, "That's fucking Blade! Holy shit! No way! Oh my god!" Because we all know what happened with Blade 3. We know Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes didn't end things on quite the best terms. Even though I think they did publicly make up, but like still though, like
yeah.
I never expected him to come back as Blade, and Blade was a much more recent movie. Like, I didn't see the Blade movies until very recently. Well, I will admit I've only seen the first two, haven't seen the third one, but people recommend me to not watch it. But both of those Blade movies are kick fucking ass. I just love when superhero movies go rated R. Just something about and especially nowadays in this. I feel like ever since Endgame, Marvel has really tried to give these characters their comic accurate suits.
Oh yeah,
which I loved, and nothing is better than seeing those suits covered in fucking blood. I don't know what it is about that, but seeing Wolverine in that bright yellow suit, just slashing motherfuckers up, getting all bloody and shit, just something about it just tickles my brain in all the right ways, and I love this movie to death. All the cameos, all the characters, getting to see everybody come back, getting to see people who didn't get to prove themselves, like with Channing Tatum as Gambit. I'm glad Taylor Swift wasn't in it. And just you can really just tell the love and passion that went into this movie, because you can tell, like with some of these other movies, that they were just trying to make money. They're just trying to keep the story going. They're just trying to keep their cash cow flowing, but not this. This is passion, and this is fucking filmmaking.
Absolutely.
This is how it should be done.
100% agree. Beautifully put. Suck it, Scorsese. Yeah.
Yeah.
Naima, what are your thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine? Where are you at?
Listen. This movie, you guys, again, I've never been rendered speechless, at least not in one of these podcast episodes before. But I think everything that you guys have said, especially Max, when you were like going on and on, I was like, yes. And then Ericka coming in and she's making all these points, and I'm like, oh. And then Matt's energy and like and I'm like, and then Brandon in the beginning starting us off strong, and I'm like, they said everything. They said everything that I was thinking. Like, you guys have covered every base to the point that there's still bases that should be covered, but we just don't have enough time to cover them. I've never seen such a perfect Marvel movie before. Honestly, and again, you were saying, I'm not sure who said it, but the aspect of whether or not you know a lot about the universe, the multiverse, or not, it's a film that brought everybody together.
Yeah.
Knowledge or not, you said it's a love letter. It's paying homage. It's bringing back faces in the right way. It's closing chapters, but it's also paying recognition to chapters that may have never started. It still has the comedy, it has the love, it has that friendship that you believe. It has two hot guys playing the lead. What more can you ask? Their wife making a cameo. He went shirtless at the end. I mean, how?
But when he still had the mask, that was a great shot.
There's NSYNC in the opening was already so perfect. that you didn't even know where you were going from there. I mean, it was
Mm.
so it's there's no words for a movie like this. And I think also going in with the experience that we had going into this movie, I mean, it's just a beautiful love letter and an end to such a perfect and well put and just progressive and just timeless piece. Will we see Deadpool again? You guys all made great points. And that's even a question that I can't even answer. And I'm usually pretty good at these guessing games. It's so perfect. Do we want to? But then it's also I'm curious to know where this Thanos story is going. So it's kind of like I know Ryan Reynolds is always going to pay respect to it because look what he's created. So whatever he decides, I trust it and
Yeah.
I respect it. And my husband, as I'm talking to you guys about this movie right now, and still, you know, laying and bathing and steaming in it. My husband's literally watching it for the second time right now, like as we speak.
Oh, he's at the theater right now.
Yeah, he's in the theaters right now watching it twice.
Oh, nice.
Hell
Nice.
yeah! I need to go see my
Ready for a
second round
third
now.
watch.
Well, and look, if I go back to a movie theater for a second watch, you know you're doing something right. And this
Mhm.
movie, wow. I mean, chef's kiss to all of them, all of them. That's all I can say to this. I mean, wow, just wow.
Let's get into our final comments and ratings for Deadpool Wolverine. I'll go ahead and kick it off first. I love this, like from the bottom of my heart. I once went on the podcast because obviously, no, it's no secret. Last year we had the writer's strike. There was a lot of delays for a lot of movies, and unfortunately, this was one of them. And filming had its halt on this film completely because Ryan Reynolds, ad-libs a lot on set and is a writer, so he could not change anything. That was the thing, and they filmed some stuff during the strike. And then after a few weeks of that, or a few days, they stopped because it just wasn't working. So I went on the podcast and I said, you know what? Deadpool 3 is going to be shit because they've filmed too much of that at that point. And there's going to be a whole chunk of the movie that will not feel natural because we cannot utilize that creativity, that freedom right there that we're so used to. It's going to stick out way too much between that and being part of the MCU now. I eat those words completely. This is one of the best MCU films, completely. The only things I can put on like above in terms of ranking everything in the entire saga, which is just crazy at this point because there's so much product in that series, are things based off of pure nostalgia that I had for other characters. I'm the Avengers fan over the X-Men guys. I love Captain America. Always have been a deep Captain America fan. I love the trilogy, and I'm so pumped for Brave New World. The only thing that those movies could have done to be better, in my opinion, were to introduce the werewolf Captain America. We haven't seen him in What If yet, or something crazy like that. So I do hold those movies up just a little bit higher than this one. It's not by much, and it is by pure nostalgia, honestly. Deadpool and Wolverine is, in a weird way, in such a weird fucking way, a perfect movie. And this gets beyond a Coruscant, dude. This gets a Death Star. This blows out the absolute fucking water. I love this thing. Ericka, I'm putting you up next on the list for this one. I feel like out of everyone, you have the most nostalgia, the deepest connection here to this series specifically. What are your final comments and ratings for Deadpool Wolverine?
As a longtime fan, a very passionate fan, somebody who has cried over Hugh Jackman's performances before because he's just him, just like Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. I think they couldn't have done any better, honestly. I think maybe the only gripe is the story flow, like the storyline. I did like Cassandra Nova. I did like her character. I would have maybe wanted a little bit, more out of the character building for her. I get it. Charles Xavier's sister, shunned off to the void. She runs everything. That's just me being nitpicky when it comes to trying to find something to not love about it. But even that, I think it doesn't matter to somebody like me because that wasn't the point of this movie. The point of the movie, truthfully, wasn't even about the villain. I think the villain just had to be there from a movie's sake. Personally, I think this movie did exactly what Ryan Reynolds intended, to give an end to a lot of franchises I wouldn't have even thought that were going to be acknowledged again, especially with Elektra Gambit, seeing X-23 again, like Daphne Keane was amazing as her, and seeing her going at it again, bringing back the sunglass, her little sunglasses and everything, like just constant fan service, and that can be very tricky to navigate. It's either going to be great or it's going to be horrendous, and it was beyond. It blew me out of the water. Second watch was even better than the first. I can only imagine my third watch and how much I'm going to love it again and see things I didn't. It's impossible to not give this a perfect score, so I'm going Death Star 2 because, man, I think this one will be something I'm going to watch in 5 years from now and still feel what I felt, opening night. I wish I could wipe my memory of it and watch it for the first time again. So this one's going to be up there for me. It's going to be a 3-1-2 in order for all the movies.
Yeah, I'm the same way for the order as well, too. Kind of echoing that. Beautifully put as well, again. Matt, where are you at for your final comments and ratings for Deadpool Wolverine?
Oh man, so just like it's the best Deadpool movie. Honestly, I think it might be the best. Well, it's the best Wolverine movie that's not this one.
Okay.
Because like and just you could. I'm really happy that this movie wasn't just a straight up comedy. You had the humor and like the lightheartedness of Deadpool, but then when you meet the new Wolverine and he's like, oh, he's the worst one. He let down his entire world. Like, I really felt for him. Like, you could tell Hugh Jackman brought that same like suffering look in his eyes that he has in most of this movie, And I'm just like, it was very well balanced. I love their whole buddy road trip dynamic that they had going on, and it's just this movie I think gave me everything I wanted out of it, except I do wish the Wolverine and Hulk fight lasted a little bit longer. That would be my only complaint.
Okay.
But just overall, I'm gonna give this a Death Star. This thing was just out of the water. I think this is probably at least in the top 3 for the MCU for me now, and just seeing everybody just come together for it, not just for this movie, but like just for what it stands for, and that sort of, yes, it's like a little oh hello to the MCU, but it's also a final farewell to the Fox universe, and I just don't think they could have pulled it off any better.
Okay, I'm here for it. Naima, what about you? Final comments and ratings. Where are you at?
Oh my god. My score is 3-1-2 also for my rating system. But man, let me tell you, it was like Coruscant, made a Music Man joke, Death Star.
There you go.
That was it. Look, let me tell you, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, the duo I never thought would come, but let me tell you, I think it left me. You know me and Max. I'm not speechless. I'm not one to be speechless. That's how you know. So
Absolutely.
That Death Star, it is the deathest of Death Stars.
I love it. And Brandon, how are you feeling about this one, man? This is something we've been talking about for a very long time on the podcast leading up to this.
We have. I will give, based on all of what everybody said, I am going to give this a best spin on the way to Coruscant. I still think the third act kind of falls apart a little bit toward the end, but the soundtrack is near perfect.
Mm.
The fight scenes are so fun to watch. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are they were made to be in a movie together. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We've waited such a long time for this, and I think it was worth the wait.
Yes.
Loved
Indeed.
it.
Definitely.
Couldn't agree more.
And yes, the fact that this was, like Matt said, this was so much more of a passion project than the first 2 movies. It just made it that much more special. And like we've all been saying, this is a nice cap off to the Fox Marvel universe. And yeah, that ending just really leaves it open-ended on a send-off to Deadpool as a character in the MCU, or like it, leaves him up to doing more adventures in the MCU. But I think they left that open-ended where both trajectories are satisfying in the end. Yeah, I loved it through and through.
Also, the 20th Century Fox like reference within the movie was.
Oh yeah, the logo in the void.
Yeah.
Peter lost it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like your point about the third act, though. I totally forgot about that. It feels like they had to put in the Deadpool corpse at some point, and who better? What the only scene they really had is holding off to get to Nova. So I
I was
mean,
gonna say they did reference it like in the middle of the movie, but yeah, they got their payoff toward the end. But it was a little too much. But I mean, I'd have to probably give it another watch to really give it like a full review for me. But for right now, definitely like a 4.5 out of 5.
All right. Beautifully put from all of you guys. Thank you for ruining our
Rip
perfect
nice
streak,
fool.
Brandon. Thank you. I'm just kidding. But
For what?
I said thanks for ruining our perfect streak of everybody here loving this thing.
Brandon.
Sorry, I was so critical.
God.
God, what a fucking
You know, I
asshole.
respect Brandon for keeping true to what what his review is.
I appreciate that. I
really
appreciate that.
Yeah, I can't wait to make Brandon get drunk and say some Deadpool lines soon.
Okay.
That'll be great.
You wish.
Well, guys, I think it's going to go ahead and wrap it up for our discussion on the Deadpool trilogy. It's been a very long and detailed discussion of these movies, but I mean, this is the treatment these films deserve, in my opinion. Before we head out, though, we got a little bit of a giveaway we've been doing over here.
And announce the giveaway winner.
So, for our listeners, this is your absolute last chance to enter in for the Deadpool poster we got over here. A little mini poster. And the Marvels pin, because who doesn't love the Marvels?
Is it signed? Is it signed?
It will be signed if you're Harold.
I only watched that movie for Beast.
Yeah, and there we go. More X-Men stuff in the Marvels. I forgot he says that cameo.
You know what, Matt? I completely forgot he was in the movie.
So there we
Dude,
go.
I think I wasn't gonna see the Marvels, and then I heard that Beast was in it, so I finally caved and watched it on Disney Plus, and I was like, "This is bullshit. He's not in it." And then the end credit scene happened, and I was like, "Oh, there he is."
It completely wiped out of my memory right before you
it's
said
actually
that.
true. I totally
Well, so
forgot
did the
about that.
Marvels.
Oh,
The Marvels
man.
was pretty
Yeah.
forgettable.
I
But-
like
Not even-
Kamala, but that was about it.
Not even a Beast cameo can make that movie.
No.
So
Final
let's go ahead.
little comment. The shirt I'm wearing right now, I also have like the back. I'm gonna plug a social on Instagram on where I got this. It's actually a friend's cousin that made it, and
Oh,
these are
okay.
pretty sick. So if y'all are needing some merch for your second and third watches, I'm gonna plug the name. Yeah, add to the collection because these things are pretty sick. I wore it to the premiere.
That's
so,
dope. Give us a
Yeah.
showcase real quick.
Yeah,
Stand up and show
they're-
the whole shirt. Show the whole design.
so that's
Oh,
we
that's
have our
nice.
Deadpool,
Okay.
and then on our bed, let me see,
I
my
can't
chair's
see it.
kind of gonna knock everything. We have like a Wolverine Deadpool matchup.
I'm here for it. Nice.
So I'm gonna
Nice.
post a link on Instagram because they're pretty sick and they're not like just Marvel copy paste stock pictures. So
What's
check
their
my
at real
story on
quick?
Instagram.
What's their at?
What is it?
Yeah, to say on the
It's
stream
gonna-
too, so our listeners can go ahead and cop one as well.
Yeah, let me grab it really fast. It got sent
Why
to
did
me.
someone named @HugeJackedMan follow me?
That's me. I'm huge jacked man on Twitter.
Nice.
I'm gonna put. Is there a chat in here? I'm gonna put the @ name here. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, go for it. And I will update the show notes in the description of the YouTube upload as well to go ahead and also include that too.
Perfect. Yeah, it's at Lobo Art Studios on Instagram.
Okay, guys, check out Lobo Art Studios on Instagram. Hell yeah.
Yeah, pretty sick.
Hey, did any of you guys notice who voiced Cowboy Deadpool?
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Really?
Yeah, I'm surprised
Wait,
that-
no,
that was
seriously?
Matthew McConaughey. I'm surprised that didn't come up yet.
Oh,
my
I
God,
didn't even know that.
I knew as soon as he said something, I was like, "That's fucking Matthew McConaughey."
You know what? I have a new
isn't it?
complaint.
Of course it's Matthew McConaughey.
I
That's
have a new
perfect.
complaint on the movie,
Star.
guys. I have a new complaint. Where the hell was my Brad Pitt cameo in this one?
He died.
Oh, give me. Why wasn't he a
Vanisher
Deadpool, man?
died.
Why wasn't he a Deadpool? God damn it.
Who wins this raffle here?
I'm actually going to pin
Yeah,
your
that's the
comment
most
real quick,
important
too,
thing,
Eric.
Naima. Thank
where's
you.
the giveaway?
All right. Look. So let's see what we got going on here. We got Harold, we got Jose Lopez, and we got Legion of Comics who entered in this giveaway. We're going to go ahead. Brandon, Who are we assigning number wise? Who gets what? Who gets what? What 1, 2, and 3? What person do you want to be 1, 2, and 3?
Let's go Legion of Comics 1.
Okay.
Jose 2 and Harold 3.
Harold 3. We're gonna say 4 for a roll again. Okay. And keep it interesting.
I thought you were gonna say for you.
No.
You won the giveaway.
Congratulations!
All right.
All that weight.
Siri, pick a number 1 through 4.
It's 2.
2? Who was 2? Was that Jose?
It was Jose.
That's Tone Dog right there. Tone Dog, congratulations.
Wait.
There.
There we go.
Tone Dog, you won yourself a
Ow,
Deadpool
we're in
Wolverine mini poster and some Galaxy of Film stickers. Funny enough, he actually entered in our Godzilla giveaway a few months ago too. So I'm glad he won this one around actually, because nice to see
Good
people
for
who
him.
enter in, stick around and keep entering and kind of get something eventually. So Jose, aka Tone Dog, we'll be sending you this along your way with some more stickers. Go ahead and get you taken care of, my good sir. But guys, it's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this episode of Galaxy of Film. Next week, we're going to do another Galaxy of Film live episode, so stay tuned. I'll be taking the week off. However, Will is hosting for the first time, with Jake co-hosting, actually, switching up a little bit. And they'll be discussing the Disney Plus series X-Men 97, keeping it in tune with some more X-Men stuff going on. But before we get to that, Matt, it's always a pleasure getting you on here, dude. We'll, of course, get you back on in the future for some more comic book movies. Hopefully something, a little bit better than Man on the Web, but not as good as Deadpool Wolverine. But where can our listeners find you? Where can they find your production company? Go ahead and tell us all the details.
Oh, well, I'm my company's called Megapixel Productions. If you just search it on YouTube, I'm sure you can find it eventually. We have a movie out called Attack of the Fiends, The Ballad of Monte the Fiend Slayer. If you just search Attack of the Fiends, it's the first thing that comes up. And I've also got a new movie called Wayside. It's a crime thriller. It's my directorial debut. I've been working on it for about 2 years now. The trailer of which, as well as Attack of the Fiends, is going to be in this the video that Brandon mentioned at the beginning. This little showcase to showcase some films. So yeah, we've got Attack of the Fiends that's going to be in that, and the trailer for Wayside. I initially wanted Wayside to come out this coming August, but that may or may not happen right now. But I'm probably going to cook up another trailer here very soon.
Very nice, man. I cannot wait for Wayside. You've been telling me about this since we were smoking weed outside of Kevin Smith's show.
Dude, I've been making this movie longer than I've known Max.
Crazy.
So yeah.
For more context for listeners, he was telling me about how he's working on this before I shot Like a Surgeon, my first short film, which is insane to me.
Wow.
So I'm very proud that you have this ridiculous runtime. I cannot wait for this thing to come out and to see it finally, dude. But it's always a pleasure getting you on here, Matt, of course.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I'll always come back.
Of course. Ericka, I've loved having you on here as well, making your debut with Galaxy of Film. We'd love to get you back on here in the future for another episode. Where can our listeners find you as well?
Yeah, I really enjoyed being here. Thank you so much for inviting me on here. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter is _huge_jacked_man all together. Of course, obviously, big Logan fan. And then I'm also on Instagram. I totally forget my @ name. I can't remember if there's an underscore. Yeah, it's in Spanish. Just La Cocinera 2 underscores. It'll be in the comment or in the little description. And then also on Discord, I'm just Mother Mothra. Big Godzilla fan too. So really sad I missed that episode, but maybe on the next movie we'll have to run that back. But I would absolutely love to come back, and this has been awesome to just dive in and nerd out for, the last 3 hours.
Hell yeah. We'll get you on for some Godzilla. We're going to dive in more of that franchise next year once we clear out our schedule, because Will is a Godzilla fanatic, and he needs to have a chance to unleash that a bit more than just one of the new films, or 2 of the new films, -1 and X-Kong. So we'll definitely have to dive into some of the show era
universes and have so much content.
Yeah, by all means. So we'll definitely get you back on for some Godzilla, of course. Naima, we got a lot going on too. We got some films that we're shooting the rest of this year. Brandon, we
Yeah.
got a lot going on. We got some more podcasts. We got some videos we're working on as well. There's a new series going on. New podcast starting too on our Patreon coming up. We'll tell you more about that in the next upcoming week, so stay tuned. We'll also have an announcement video whenever that is ready and launched in the next few weeks too. But stay tuned for more of our stuff. Our short films, The Ick and Goonies and Agony, are available on our YouTube channel and website, galaxyfilm.com. If you enjoy the show, you can please consider leaving us an iTunes or Spotify review. It truly does help the show much more than you can imagine. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye bye
Peace
bye.
out. Peace out.
Bye bye.
See ya.